What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I know you're seeing Turf and Angelo, and you're not seeing Turf and Spence. But I assure you, we're okay. Turf is good. Spence is fire. We're hopefully getting them up here sooner than later. But for right now, you got to deal with us too. What's going on, Angelo?
Going great, man. For you guys who are just joining us right now, for the very, very, very loyal followers of the Ultimate Raider Fan 32, as you guys know, as all of you guys know, Turf and I finally, after almost 2 years, started our boxing MMA combat sports channel, the
Yes,
Knockout Canvas. So we'd like to ask everyone here who is going to be paying attention to us chat about all sports tonight to also log on or subscribe, please, to the Knockout Canvas. We're doing kind of an impromptu episode 2 because there's so much boxing news. But Turf and I couldn't get to it yesterday. Obviously, the NBA Finals was on, and man, Turf, let's start with that. That was a good game.
It was a great game. Amazing game. Ooh. I couldn't have been more happy for that game. Yeah, it was pretty sick, man. I mean, it got a little out of hand towards the end, right? You know what I mean? Meaning that you kind of knew who was gonna win.
It was close though, Turf.
It was close the whole game, man. I was shocked. Yeah, it was definitely very, very close the entire game. So I enjoyed every bit of it, honestly. I don't know about y'all, but I definitely enjoyed that game yesterday. 100%.
Yeah, I don't know how many of you guys in the chat are on the what's been happening with the NBA. Obviously, is their ratings have gone down. There's all these different theories to why. In my opinion, the reason why it's gone down is because Adam Silver is doing a terrible job of promoting these stars. Like I'm the one that told Turf that Tyrese Halliburton's like as like Penny Hardaway, and he didn't even really realize. And I'm like, dude, he's been that good since Sacramento, man. But again, like you have to have been watching NBA basketball for a while and then watch them. And then one of the hard things I'll say too, Turf, is would you agree that one of the hard reasons as to why maybe the NBA has lost the following is back in the old days when you and I were really into the NBA like all the time, the college players were playing 3-4 years. So we got to see them in Kentucky or Duke or North Carolina, and we saw their growth versus now there's so many one and done players and there's a lot of European players that it's kind of hard to follow. Like, okay, who is this rookie? Who is that rookie? Right. So that's what I mean is I feel like Adam Silver's not doing a good enough job of just teaching it to us. Like, teach us who all these people are, man. Give us some like what HBO used to do with the 24/7, you know? Like, give us some of these specials so that we know exactly who we're watching, so that we can get excited over who they are.
Right. Nope, that makes sense. And as you can see, the screen is glitching in and out, and that's because we're trying to get my man Spence in the building. But it's taking a little bit.
Spence is trying to get on, y'all.
Relax.
Yeah, and I agree. Steve Jones, I totally agree, man. OKC does need to pick up that pace, or they're going to get rolled like back when they got rolled by Miami in 2012.
Right.
So
completely rolled.
I mean, I'll tell you, Chewy and Steve and all you guys in the chat, like, I think whoever wins tomorrow will probably end up winning this entire thing because tomorrow's game is one of those games where it's kind of like if OKC shows up and honestly if SGA Shai Gilgeous-Alexander actually like shows that he's the next guy, right? He's the guy. He's gonna need to take over, man. Because what I saw yesterday was I could kind of tell that OKC was counting on SGA to bail him out. So that's what I mean is, like, I can tell they're still young. Like, Chet Holmgren wasn't exactly just taking the ball and saying, give me the ball, I'll take over. Or,
Right.
you know, or some of the other ones. They're kind of waiting for their leader to do it. Versus you could tell that Tyrese Halliburton and the Pacers, everybody was contributing, man.
Right.
The last, like, 3 minutes, Miles Turner had, like, I don't know, like 2-3 blocks. Like, they were just on it. So I was telling my wife earlier that they very much remind me of that very first Warriors team back in 2015 when it was just us, Klay Thompson,
Right.
young Draymond. Like, we were like we didn't we knew enough to have been there in the finals, but didn't know enough to be scared of everyone.
Right.
And then we ended up winning, that title against LeBron.
Yep.
So, Billy Davis, what's up, man? Good to see you.
Billy D is in the building. Don't worry, I'm gonna get to you guys.
Yeah, we're gonna start getting to the chat. We're just trying to get Spence in. So.
I see Cheeto. I see you in there, bro. You come on, Cheeto. You should know better than that. I'm gonna get. It's no time like the present. I've been trying to wait. Spence is having a rough time. As you can see, Spence is in the car.
He's in the car.
So, it's going in and out with Mr. Spence. We're gonna try to figure out how to get him on here. At some point, let's see. At some point, he will get in here and stay. But in the meantime, we got to do what everybody knows, and that's my number one main segment that I love. Chat Lives Matter. My main man, Steve Jones, cuz is in the building. What's up, Turf and Spence? We just signed a practical linebacker.
Yep.
I agree. I'm excited about that one. I'm going to tell you straight up. We're definitely going to talk about it too. And obviously, y'all see he's on the screen. We are asking everyone, please subscribe to Turf and myself's new channel, the Knockout Canvas. Please. Yep. It's on YouTube, Instagram. I don't know if I got TikTok up yet. I'll have to get to it. Hop on it real quick, ASAP. But yeah.
Just so that you know, Turf, I just checked on the Knockout Canvas, and this show's not running on it right now. It just says upcoming. Just so that you know. I don't know if you
really?
I don't know if you clicked the live or not.
Yeah. Oh, I know what it is. I have to click start.
That's what I figured happened.
Yeah. So I have to go. Yeah, let me see if I can do it. I'll go grab and do that. I'll do that in a hot second.
Okay. Cool.
We'll get it up and running. Let me get through. Chat. Yeah, let me get through. Let me get through the chat real quick.
Yeah.
We got my guy that always comes and shows up, Chewy's NFL News and Podcast Faders. Turf, it's always good. Angelo. What's up? Uh-oh. I like boxing and MMA, so you're going to enjoy this show for sure. I see we got Spence. Can you hear us, Spence? We can see you.
Spence is in the car for sure, guys.
And
he talked.
And he's talking. Oh, that's tough.
Definitely driving through something.
Yeah, you're having all kinds of problems.
He's in Brokeback Mountain, man.
We got to figure that out. Let me pause about there real quick. Where we at? Who else? We got my man, Marcus Banks in the building. Salute. Appreciate you for coming through. Hope you enjoy the show. Cheeto Linus. Come on, Cheeto. You see that, man? That is what you call old school NHL royalty. This is the Hartford Whalers, okay? One of the best hockey teams of all time that unfortunately I was stripped of, if you will. So that's just that right there. Hey, we got Spence back. Real loud. If you can find a way to get headphones or something, that might really.
I'm on headphones.
Oh, you are? No, now it sounds good. Well, it was sounding good till you just left.
All right, there we go.
Yeah.
Kind of cutting in and out, but we can sort of hear you.
Right.
So how are you watching anything right now, Spence?
He's not watching nothing. He's just going to be there. Nothing. He's going to be there talking. And shout out to all
I'm not watching. I have my phone.
Oh, he's watching on the phone, too.
Okay. Maybe that's what's causing the interruption.
Right. And like I just said, shout out to my TikTok people in the building. You know what I'm saying? Please, if you don't mind, hop on over to the Ultimate Raider Fan 32 and Title Town Sports Talk, right? That's Spence's joint. And then last but not least, I know it's not running all that well just yet, but I'm going to click that button here in a second, and that is the Knockout Canvas. So yes. And yes, Cheeto. NHL like Bob Marley and the way. Silly, dude. All right, I'm gonna run real quick to grab that, get that channel running on the other side. I don't want to mess it up. I'll be right back.
Studio 2.
Yeah. Hey, check out that. Check out. So we are supposed to be watching the hockey game.
Right.
I don't see the score just yet. But yeah, see if you could take a peek at that.
I'll take a peek.
I'll be right back.
In a second. So, again, guys, I was flat honest with Turf that as soon as the Golden Knights lost, I stopped watching hockey. I'm just keeping it real with you guys, just because. I didn't exactly.
It's not a game either, Angelo. It's 3-3.
It's 3-0. Okay.
Panthers.
And who is winning right now, Spence?
The Panthers.
Okay. And the Panthers won last year. They beat the Golden Knights, right?
I think so. Yes.
So.
I'm not that. I don't follow hockey that closely either.
Right. Now, I know you do follow the NBA, so what did you think of the game yesterday?
I do. And everybody's automatically assuming that the Indiana Pacers are just going to roll over and give it to them. It's not going to happen. This game's going to go 6 or 7 games.
All right.
Series. Even if Oklahoma City ends up pulling it out and winning, but they already put themselves in a bad spot by dropping one of their home games. So.
Right, and that, by the way, was exciting, man. It sucks that not that many people watched it in America, but that game was so exciting. Last second shot, going in, Tyrese Halliburton pulling it out, doing what he's been doing all playoffs.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, no, that was great. So you believe that they'll win on Friday, and then OKC will make a bounce back?
I believe that the Thunder are going to win next game just because if they go down 3-1 going back to Oklahoma City, that they're in trouble.
Yeah, no, if they lose tomorrow, it's over. I mean, they might.
It could be a matter of time.
I mean, that would be like the only way I could see them. If they lose tomorrow in Indiana, the only way I could see OKC making that comeback is if some crazy stuff happened and the NBA decides to want them to make it a 7-game series somehow.
Right.
Same way Cleveland cheated their way into that championship against my Warriors. Talking about Draymond getting suspended. Come on, man. Come on.
Right.
That's ridiculous.
You mean LeBron didn't win that
Yes,
series?
when LeBron came back, they made it a game. I mean, that Game 7 match was really cool. Like Kyrie and Steph had a chance and the whole bit. I'm just saying it would have never even made it that far because we were killing them, dude. We were rolling them at that point.
If Draymond was on LeBron's team, they would never suspend him.
Exactly.
Never.
Exactly.
I agree.
Yeah. Now, and Spence, earlier I was making that comment about how I think part of the reason why a lot of mainstream America right now isn't watching the NBA Finals is because it's not that the games aren't good or that there isn't all this high-level talent that we're seeing, which is amazing. It's that Adam Silver's done a terrible job of advertising. Would you agree, Spence, that, I mean, I barely see any NBA advertising?
Yeah, I mean, there isn't much advertising, and quite honestly, the model that the NBA runs now is more player focused instead of team focused.
Right.
And like the result is that the only time people watch are when LeBron's playing, or need the marquee names, right? So Giannis gave good ratings when he was there with Milwaukee. It's a small market, but there's nobody in this game that has any sort of Q rating right now. Like Shea probably would get there, and he just won the MVP, but he's not there right now. Right.
True.
So like, he's kind of like a second guy right now.
Right.
And Halburn's like a third tier guy. Like they're both really good players, and I would be happy with having either one of them on the Celtics.
Right.
Yeah, that's it. It's just, that's what the back when the switch back then, and ever since it's been the marquee player, like Jordan, or you need those names to carry the weight.
Right. Hey, I have noticed, because again, I don't watch that much hockey, but this is the third year in a row that the Panthers are in the Stanley Cup Finals.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
Hey, we were the same way.
Dynasty.
The Knights. We were the same way when we started. The Knights.
But we weren't on it every year, Turf. You know what I'm saying?
We were there like 2 out of 3 years, or 3 out of 4 years, or something like that.
Yeah, we were in it in our first year, 2017 and 2018.
Yep.
And then we made it again, and then we won. We won in 2023.
Correct.
And these guys is 3 in a row, so I don't know, Spence, are they cheating?
Yeah. Florida's good. No.
They're just good?
Yeah.
No, the Bruins actually traded their captain to the Panthers at the trade deadline.
Okay.
That's right.
He's producing for them.
Absolutely, he's producing big time.
So who's like the LeBron James, or like the Steph Curry of hockey? Yeah, like who's the main person?
That's a good
Kachuk or Ovechkin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ovechkin's probably the best player.
I was gonna say it's got to be Ovechkin for sure.
Yeah, but I mean Kachuk is really clutch.
Kachuk is clutch, huh? Okay.
For the Panthers. Yeah.
I don't see my I don't see the score on my stickers. Go ahead, Spence.
3-0. We're just talking about it when you jumped off.
Right, it's 3-0. That's what I'm saying.
3-0 Panthers.
3-0.
Okay, I see it. Edmonton against Florida. Gotcha. Yeah, for some reason in the ticker it doesn't have. Oh, I know why, because of the finals. Nope, that makes sense.
Hey, so Spence, I know I've been trying to keep you up to date as much as I can, but there is a ton of boxing news that has been coming like a lot in the last few days. But let me ask you, football wise, how are your Patriots doing so far in the offseason? Because the Raiders, we've been making a lot of different moves.
I've actually thought that it's been a pretty good OTAs. Like, OTAs are done now. For the Patriots, we had the defense. Defense looks like it's going to be a real problem for everybody. It's yeah, I mean, our cornerbacks are looking really good. Safeties are looking really good. The rookie safety we drafted, Woodson, out of Cal, he looks like a steal in the 4th round. Our defensive line is like, we're going like 6 and 7 deep. Nice. And our linebackers, obviously, you know, we got some of your defense players on our team. So Jason. And,
were you guys able to fix that Stephon Diggs situation?
Yeah, nothing to fix. The man's just having a good time. Just let him be.
Bingo! I like it, Spence. Let him know, baby. Yeah. Let that man be a man.
Yeah. Dude, see, you know, I mean, he's dating Cardi B. I mean, let the man live.
All right, let him work. Let him work. Look at Spence getting in there. I like it.
So you got your version of Taylor Swift
I heard that
for the Patriots, huh? Cardi B.
Oh yeah, Cardi B, yeah. Yeah, I heard Rabel met with him, and the first thing he said was, "Cell phones, really?" Because everybody on that boat was recording.
Right.
It's like, really, can you just leave the phones in a box somewhere, go Jeter style?
Oh man.
Like Jeter was famous for that stuff, man. Like when he wanted to go out and he was on the road to a club where there's 1,000 people, he'd rent out the whole place.
Yep.
There's people there. And he had a box in the front. You go in the door, you drop your phone in the box. No phones.
Yep.
No recording device. You go in your time.
Uh-oh. Spence is going through something.
Just saying, Diggs might want to think about that. Oh, yeah. I'm going through the mountains is what's happening.
That's what it is, huh? Going through the mountains.
Wow.
Yeah.
So just for the people that didn't know, man, it's 2-1. Panthers.
Oh, really? Because when Spence was telling me it was 3-0.
No. I mean the series is 2-1. My bad. Yeah. My bad.
Series.
Okay. The series is 2-1. So the Panthers, the Oilers can't afford to lose here, man. Yeah, and they're at. I don't
know who scored tonight, but Marchand is the guy that we traded to them, and he's like minus 400 or something to win MVP of the series. It'd be wild. He was playing really poor for us when we traded him.
Right.
But good for him. You get a Stanley Cup.
That's fire. I'm trying to see where the game highlights are. See who is the scorers in this right now. It's not showing.
I'm not messing around with any of it. I'm on like a fragile connection. I don't know. Can you guys hear me, or am I going in now?
Yeah,
no, we can hear you perfect now.
We can hear you. We can hear you all right. Can you hear us pretty clearly?
Okay, good. Yes,
So,
super clear. It's just I think when I bring the video on, it's too much.
Yep, I agree, and that's where I was trying to see.
Which is fine. I mean, nobody needs to see the car anyway.
Right.
I was trying to see if I could hide you, but people still hear you. Yeah, see, that cuts him out.
So let's break this one down, because I don't know if you saw this while you've been driving, Spence, but the Raiders signed Jermaine Pratt, y'all. Jermaine Pratt. Pretty good sign, in my opinion. Pretty good sign. And I know it was just a couple of days ago that Turf was talking about our linebacker room wasn't so great.
Right.
What do you think of it now, though?
Hey, no, I mean, I agree. I think this is a huge pickup. I think it changes the game for us. It flips it upside down, man. I thought, between that and the secondary, that those were our biggest problem children, and right now it's no longer the linebacking core. So
Right.
I'm ecstatic.
Right. And again, we're not trying to sell you guys like a bunch of magic beans. Like, we realize these are all 1-year contracts. Devin White's on a 1 year.
Correct.
Landon Roberts, I think, is on a 1 year. I know that Jermaine Pratt's on a 1 year. Jalen Smith's on a 1 year.
Yep.
And it's all going to come out in the wash. But just those three names, Pratt, Devin White, and Landon Roberts, I'm pretty sure those three are going to make it.
Right.
To the main three, because Pete Carroll today in the press conference talked about it. He said that he can see those three running at the same time. So I'm guessing that means when we're doing
That's
a
good.
4-3, does that mean those three, Turf, are the ones that are going to be the linebackers?
Right. I mean, yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Man,
I think it's Roberts, right? Roberts would be the Mike.
I would think so too. But you just never know, right? I'm trying to think. I mean, we play with a Mike and a what do they consider it? It's not a Sam. It's a Will back, I believe. I think it's
Sam.
a Will. Mike and a Will.
Will.
Let me see depth chart. Let me see if I can.
Yeah, because now, like, you know, when you get past our Cody Lindenberg and Tommy Eichenbergs, then that we do have like Jalen Smith still in there. He hasn't been
right.
Good. We got the three guys that's probably going to end up definitely making it: Pratt, Devin White, and Roberts.
Right.
So really,
so this is what
what's it looking like? What's it looking like for your undrafted free agent? Touchdown Tommy. Is he looking like he's going to make the team, special teams or something?
Touchdown Tommy. He's absolutely going to make the team. They know he's the project. They know they have some time to work with on him.
No, I'll tell you right.
So are they going to put him on the practice squad, or do you think they're going to put him on the
practice squad? Too many.
No, I think
he's going to be in the 53.
I think he'll be on the 53. I think he'll. You know what? I honestly think they're going to cut your boy, man. I think Tucker's on his way out the door. I think we try to find a way to make a deal for him, unless I'm just, I wish I were there and practice like everybody else, so that they know where Tucker's playing. You know what I mean? I've heard they've been moving him to the outside, moving him around, but that doesn't tell me enough.
I don't know, Turf, because we don't have that many wide receivers that can run the 4-3. We only got Dante and then Tucker, so I don't know. I don't think Tucker's getting cut. I think one of the other ones.
Yeah, but not because you're not going to not get cut because of speed. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Tucker's been around this is his third year now, and I mean, he hasn't produced, to be honest. I mean, and don't get me wrong, they have him as the number one left wide receiver currently right now, and Thornton's behind him.
Right.
So, and then they got Jack Besh at the right wide receiver. And in slot, they have Jacoby Myers. And guess who's behind Jacoby Myers at slot? Touchdown Tommy.
That makes sense.
Now the rub for me is the way that they keep Tucker on board is that Phillips, right? Kyle Phillips, who is a hand-picked person by Chip Kelly, gets cut. They actually have him in the slot as the fourth slot guy behind Alex Bachman. So that just doesn't make sense to me. I don't see it.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was saying is I think those other guys are going to get cut, but not the main guys.
Yeah, well, but I think that includes Trey Tucker. I think we keep touchdown Tommy and Trey Tucker. I think, like you just saw and heard and said, they got Myers right now in slot. You can put Besh there. You see what I'm saying, Thornton? We are definitely clearly looking at as the number one wide receiver or wideout. I have to think. You know what I mean? And you put that mix of Bowers.
I think that's your hope for him. That's your hope for him, right? But I don't know that's going to be day one.
Though, because there's a lot of talk, Spence, on how good he's really doing in the OTAs.
Yes.
And and again, this isn't a. I know that you're going to hear everybody always say it's a win now year, but both me and Turf know that it's really the reason why there's so many 1-year contracts and then we got all these rookies and second-year players is this is let's see what we got year, right?
Yep.
So if you're trying to see what you got with Dante Foreman, 6'5", what is he, 220, 215? I wouldn't be shocked if he's the number 1 X,
right?
Like starting X all the way through, and then everybody else. Besh, I can see is the number 2. I can see that, Turf. I can see Jacoby being the slot.
I mean, it's gonna be interesting, man. I could see both. I could see them all being capable of being switched around. You know what I mean?
Right.
Totally switched up, but
yeah.
Uh-oh,
he's breaking up.
We gotta fix Spence. Fix Spence.
Spence is up in Brokeback Mountain, y'all.
He's out.
Don't worry.
Everything.
It'll get better soon.
It'll get better
soon. But yeah, no, Turf. I mean, I thought that was exciting, and then I was telling you that Shaq Griffin is here right now in town, and he might be the one to get signed. Shaq Griffin.
That would be interesting.
I mean, that's a lot, though. If you really think about it, who's gonna? Does that mean Richardson's out? Because they can't keep more than what, 6?
I mean,
the backs, right?
Well, I mean, that would be a lot. Yeah, if you're talking about left and right cornerbacks, I mean, right now at right cornerback, they have it as Stokes. Eric Stokes is number 1. Darian Porter is number 2. And Humphrey is number 3. For left cornerback, Jacorian Bennett, DeCamerion Mitchelson, and then we still forgetting about Mello Dotson, bro. I don't think he's just about to roll over. I haven't heard much about him, though, to be honest, right?
He was an undrafted anyways, undrafted free agent.
100% undrafted, but I had high hopes for him. I'm not going to sit here and lie and act like I didn't think he would be making the team. I thought he'd make the team.
Huh.
I could be very wrong with that, but I actually thought he'd be somebody that made the team. Just keep it a bean.
No, the big news that keeps coming out is that Porter might seriously have a starting job. Maybe. I don't know, though.
Really?
That's pretty ballsy if they do. But then again, man, the Eagles did it. The Eagles gave Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean a starting job right off the
100%. 100%.
And if we're on a find out year right now anyways, then why not, right? No better way to learn, Turf, than in those middle 6, 7, 8 round of a fight,
Right. So, I agree. No, I agree.
Throw them in the fire, man. Throw them in the fire and see what happens.
Throw them in is correct.
But yeah, but believe me, guys, for all our Raider Nation listeners, I know it's making you excited, all these different moves, and me and Turf are going to be the voice of we're going to be the Jiminy Cricket on your shoulders this year,
right?
Where every time you get excited, we're never going to say, because Turf knows better than any of us, that on any given season anything can happen. You never know. He's played the game, so he knows anything can happen in any given season. But having said that, with us having to deal with the Chargers, the Broncos, the Chiefs, we're just being realistic, man. We're like the way I'm seeing it right now, Turf, is we're in our sparring year. We sparring right now.
Right.
These fights don't count.
Nope.
We're just sparring. We're trying to find out where we're at. How good are we really?
Right. So for all the people that are on TikTok and X, we got like 80 people on X. Come on, my X peoples. Do me a large favor. This goes for my TikTok people too. Please go on over to the Ultimate Raider Fan 32. Titletown Sports Talk and the Knockout Canvas. All three, all one word. I'm about to actually go through my ticker, switch that up. But yeah, please go over there, like and subscribe. And get yourselves on in with these conversations, man. I see a new guy up in here, The Rock, aka Rock, in the building. Appreciate you for coming through. Hope you enjoy the show. They plan on scoring and playing with the lead, which Pete says makes D easier. And Rock, you are 100% correct on that. There's absolutely a lot of truth in that. It makes it way easier when you have a lead to play defense than to play from behind. So, shout out to Rock.
Right.
I dig the take.
Yeah, no, Rock, you're absolutely right. I definitely agree that there hasn't been a show at all that neither myself or
Turf, can you hear me now?
Said we weren't going to be a competitive team.
All right.
We didn't say we were going to.
I think I might be back.
We were just talking about wins and losses, but we believe that in every game we are going to score.
So how is Gino look?
We have way more.
TAs. Has he been there or?
Hold on, Spence. Hold on, you guys. Can you not hear? You can't hear Angela.
I can hear Angela.
Oh, they can't hear me, Jerry?
No. They can. Spencer can. Spencer couldn't hear you for some reason.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I can only see you.
You can't hear him, right? You probably have to come out.
I can't hear Spence at all.
Yeah, you can't hear each other, so that means.
Yeah, let me.
Yeah. Sorry, Spence.
Yep, that means the audience can't hear you either. All good though. Hey, this is how it goes sometimes, you know.
Yeah, but the audience can hear me, right, Turf?
Yes, yeah, everybody can hear you. It's
right,
just technical difficulties in terms of Spencer traveling, right? We're trying to just at least get his takes and at least get to hear him. But yeah.
Spence is busy at the Rocky Mountains getting some of them oysters.
All right, I'm back. I still can't see Angela.
It's something you're doing because he can't see you either. I can tell. Yeah, when you come on now, you have a different. It's set up differently. It's something that you're doing is different from what you were doing in the last. Because it's showing up weird. I can't explain.
I just disabled the.
I just clicked on the link.
No. I'm not talking to you, Angelo. See, y'all can't hear each other.
Oh, you're talking about Spence.
I'm talking to Spence. Yeah, y'all can't hear each other. There's something going on. See, now you're up, and I think he'll probably be able to hear you.
And then Rock, I'll try to see if I can. I didn't realize, guys. I'm sorry, Chad. I didn't realize my audio was low. Let me see what I can do to pump that up. Let me know, Rock,
I still can't see Angela.
On this, but tell me, Rock, is that better for you? And Chad, let me know. If this is better, I'm just worried about the echo.
No, you can't do that. You have to. I don't know.
Okay. I'll switch it. Okay, I'll switch it back to the old one.
I'm talking to everybody now. Although your video is shining and is going great now, it's just whatever Angelo did caused.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, no, because Turf, we had the same issue on the knockout cam.
The video came on. It's good. We have good enough signal now, like full 5G. So.
Your voice was actually, you were actually loud. My wife told me you were loud.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. Is
I turned
this
you
is
up.
the setting that makes it better. This one.
Can you hear Angelo?
Can you guys hear me?
I can't hear you.
It's Spencer. It's you, Spencer. I hate to do you like this, buddy, but it's you. You gotta, sorry,
Spence.
Yeah.
Spence is the problem, everyone.
Yeah.
Spence is the problem.
He's got to get that star. He's got to get star. What is it? Starlight. We got to figure that out.
And what I'll do for you guys in the chat is I'll speak right into the mic. That way you guys can hear me because I don't want that echo to show up. So,
right.
But no, Rock. Just going back to with the Raiders, it is possible. Like if I was gonna say, hey, certain thing, but the ball bounces our way, and Denver messes up and the Chargers mess up, and here and there, yeah, I could see our ceiling being like
I still
9
don't see
games.
Angel.
We'll be competitive with all that offensive weapons that we have, but in all reality, and I'm just saying in all reality, and I know Turf will back me up on this since he actually played at the high level. When you're a rookie, man, and you're just trying to learn, or your second year, you're not going to be no pro, like all pro. Like you're so
Nope,
we have to, if a third of our team is built on rookies and second year players in the 53-man roster. Just think about that for a second. A third of any company having a bunch of new people, that company is not going to be like an amazing company year one. That's the learning year. That's the, hey, we might lose some money year.
Correct. 100%. 100%. All right, so
I still can't see.
you still, I think, unfortunately, I think Spence, because when you come on, everybody says it's you. And now you can't hear him and he can't hear you. So you can get stationary. We might need to cut you, buddy.
Sorry, Spence.
All right, I'm dropping.
How much longer you got?
How much longer does Spence have on the road, y'all?
Yeah.
Let's figure it out.
Less than an hour.
And then anyhow.
Less than an hour? Yeah, well, we're definitely gonna be here. We're gonna be here at minimum.
Yeah, well, I mean, we gotta for the Knockout Canvas channel, we gotta talk our boxing anyways.
All right, I'll be back.
Okay.
And that'll take up that whole time.
And we still got people joining in on TikTok and X, so please go on over to the YouTube channel if you are on X or TikTok. It's so crazy. I just discovered TikTok, guys. I don't even want to talk about it.
No, that's awesome.
I don't know how I just discovered TikTok. It's crazy. TikTok goes hard. You get a lot of action on TikTok. Apparently, it doesn't pay as well, but I really don't care about that. From my respect. Yeah, I love the interaction and the people. So shout out to my TikTok folks, man. Yeah, shout out to the TikTok folks.
Yeah, no, thanks to everybody who's sticking around while we're going through all of this stuff. So, but yeah, no, I mean, I'm excited over all the moves, Turf, that the Raiders have made, and I think no matter what, it'll be a fun season. I think that I think last year I was getting more upset that we were losing versus this year. I don't think I'll be as upset. I just don't want to be like, I don't want to see something crazy like Ashton Genty's a bust. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that will hurt. That will hurt. As much as I talk about Ashton Genty and the takes that I have and what people may think, I'll tell you guys this. I want him to do well. I'm hoping he absolutely proves me wrong. And I think him and Mostert can dominate. I think they literally have the ability to dominate. But what I will also tell people is, look, Turf ain't no fool either, man. If y'all paying attention to OTAs, if y'all paying attention to him, just look at the size difference. I'll tell you right now, Sincere McCormick is bigger than Ashton Genty. He really actually is.
Turf, not bigger though. Ashton Genty is pretty big.
He's got. I think I want to say they're the same weight. No. You got to remember when people are taller, they just look thinner until you have to deal with it.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that'd be shocking.
Yes.
Well, I know you love Sincere McCormick, man. I know.
Yep.
I know you.
And I'm pretty sure he's right there in weight. You know what I'm saying? I would be shocked if he's not 210. I would be shocked.
Well, if we're talking about running backs that will make the 53, guys, I mean, we already know Genty's in, Mostert's in because they're both in the commercial. You have to keep at least 4, so if McCormick is in, What is it? Lobby? Is Lobby gonna make it?
You know he might over Abdullah.
or is Zamir White gonna make it? Maybe the fourth.
He might. I mean, it's very possible, man. It's very possible.
Because Lobby was a 5th round pick or 6th round pick. Zamir White was a 4th round pick. So I know they're both cuttable, but you do need to keep running back depth. So I can see a scenario where Lobby might get.
I got it. I got it right here, and this is seeing this. I love this. I got it right here.
Okay.
I got it right here.
All right.
I'm gonna pull this up. Wow. You want to know the funniest thing? Guess who's the biggest running back out of all of these guys?
Mostert, probably.
Nope.
Really?
Nope.
Zamir White. Zamir White.
Bingo. But I'm about to put all this to rest, though. I'm about to put all this to rest, man. Oh, dang. What happened?
What'd you do, Turf?
Did I not? Oh, I shared the wrong thing. Hold on. Stop sharing.
He's about to share something with you guys.
I'm sharing the same. Yeah, it's the same thing, but I just had the wrong thing because it wasn't the large version of it. Bingo. Who do you see standing next to Ashton Jeanty on both sides? First and foremost, the guy that I think is personally a better running back right now, period, than all of these guys across the board, and that's Raheem Mostert. I think he's the best running back in this running back room, period. Bar none.
He's the captain for sure.
He's the best one in this group.
Well, yeah, he's the most proven, Turf. He's also the red zone guy because that guy just knows how to find a touchdown. He's really
now, are you really sitting here telling me that Ashton Jeanty is that much of a bigger guy than Sincere McCormick?
I mean, look at his arms, Turf.
Oh, and they said the same thing about Zeus. Look at his arms. Oh, he's so strong. Zeus. It does nothing for you. When are we going to learn that does nothing for you?
Right.
You should know that more than anybody. A boxer.
No, I know. I know.
That's the funniest thing on the planet.
No, I know, Turf. And also,
the funniest thing on the planet.
Sincere did really well last year, so we all know that. And Sincere, when given the chance, could be a really good kind of like a second piece to Jeanty because they're kind of, I don't want to say they're exactly the same, but Sincere knows how to find those little tiny holes and get through it. So,
Correct.
So this squad on the left or right, whichever way you guys are looking, 31, 2, and 28. I could see those three definitely are in. I could see that. I could see Lobby getting kicked to the practice squad.
Correct.
So it would be Zamir White then that makes it, Turf? Zamir White's the fourth? Because you got to keep 4 running backs.
I mean, I don't know, man. I honestly don't know. There's no rule you have to. There's no rule. I mean,
that's true.
There's no rule you got to keep 4. My guess is they are going to keep 4. You know, I just don't know. But I'm just tired of people with this whole thought process. You know that he's a bigger guy. He's that big of a guy. All I'm trying to show you is all of these dudes got problems staying healthy as running backs. And Mostert is bigger than all of these guys as far as height, as a minimum, obviously.
Right.
And he's had a hard time staying healthy all season. We clearly know the only reason McCormick gets so much hate, you know what I mean, is the injuries.
Right.
Ashton Jeanty is small, man. Ashton Jeanty is small, bro. I've been saying this for a while. I don't even know who number 33 is. I forget his name, but that dude was huge.
Yeah.
Are y'all looking at what I'm looking at? Is pause. But I mean, y'all talking about Janty's big. Look at number 33's legs compared to Janty's legs. I don't think you're looking at anything. You see what I'm trying to say here?
Right.
Everyone keeps saying Jeanty is some thick. I don't see what y'all are seeing with this kid. And that's why I'm nervous.
You know what it is, Turf, is that, again, man, he's oftentimes, because of the height, with a good O line, there's people who say he could be like Emmitt Smith with a good O line.
So check it out, Rock. You are absolutely right. The guys on the left can get small and hit a hole. Plus, Janty is impossible to tackle. But is he really? You saw that in the Mountain West, my guy. And that's where I'm at with it. Trust me. I've already said this a bazillion times. And I'm sticking with this, and I'm standing 10 toes down. If this man doesn't have the ability to break tackles like he did in college, Kevin Samuels, average at best. At best. Look at him in size. That has to be his superpower. He's almost 2 full tenths slower than Mostert. Like, I don't think people understand. That's what I'm trying to say. People think me saying that he can't hold Mostert's jockstrap right now is like way out of control, way left. I'm completely out of... Bro, I've been putting people down on stats. See, you can't use Barry Sanders, Rock. You talking about one of the best, arguably the best to ever do it.
I mean,
You can't say nothing about Barry here, bro. I've already given who I think you can compare him to and where his ceiling is, and that's Emmitt Smith. That's a whole nother conversation. But I want to get back to this a little bit, and I'm sorry for the hockey people. We don't have many of them anyways. But I got to get back to this real quick, though, real talk, because a lot of people are thinking that my takes are wild. And, you know, Turf, you take your Medicaid, right? I want to know, what do y'all think? I should have put up a poll for this. What do y'all think is a decent average for yards per carry for a running back?
Well, nowadays, Turf.
I don't care any day. I don't care any day.
But I'm talking about just now.
Any day.
Because
any day.
You have an 18-week season.
Any
not
day.
like the way it used to be.
It's average, so it doesn't even matter if it's 18 weeks.
But then there's going to be rest and all of that. So I figure someone like Genty's got to average throughout that period of time. He's got to at least hit 100 yards a game.
No. I'm not talking that. I'm talking yards per carry.
Oh, yards
per carry, which will average out.
Well, if you have a running back that can get you 5 yards per carry, that's pretty damn good.
Pretty damn good.
You know what I'm saying? Like
pretty damn good.
Up there.
That's past the elite. There's literally less than a handful of people that have ever done that for their career. Less than 3 people that have ever done that.
Right.
I think you'd be shocked by how many people average 4 yards a carry.
Right, because normally, like an average person who's still in the league is probably hitting 2.5. You got to at least get 2.5.
I mean, you're praying to get more than that. You want to be in the 3 to 4 range. Okay. But what my question is what do people think? Right, a great average on your career. Right. And what I can assure you. This is not 5 yards a carry because that's just astronomical. Now,
well,
go ahead.
No. The other thing I'll say though, Turf, is you got to also then when you're doing the stats, you got to put it in a vacuum, right? Because I think what we've found now in the NFL is there's so much situational football now that if you just take an average of a game versus saying, well, in the red zone, X running back averages 5 yards per carry.
No. I understand that. You do have to give the context. And Rock, you are absolutely right. Average of 4 yards per carry has always been the gold standard. But how many running backs do you think actually have done that for their career, let alone for a season? Like, who do you, right? Season we can't get into, right? Because now anybody with 250, 300 carries for their career, right, that's obviously going to be way much easier to maintain over. But I'm talking in a typical average running back career. You're talking 600 carries, right? Averaging 4 yards a carry. How many people do y'all think have averaged 4 yards a carry in their career? And I'm talking 750, 750 carries. For their career.
Right.
What would be your guess? How many, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 running backs that average 4 yards per carry? What do
the
you
history of the
in
NFL?
the history of the NFL?
Yeah,
Period.
since statistics have been
What would be
being
your
told,
guess?
I don't know. I would say, because it's so hard to get that high, I'd say 20.
Bingo.
25?
If that. It ain't even that. It ain't even that. I want to say it's 18, and that's like with 400 carries or more for a career. For a career.
Right.
So what I'm basically trying to explain to y'all, and this isn't me, I'm not making this up, just chat GPT it. Google. Listen to me. There are only a handful of running backs that have averaged 5 yards their career. Literally only 3. Guess who one of those people are?
Barry Sanders.
He's not. He's not one of them.
Oh, okay.
He's not one of them. But it's on the screen right now.
Oh, okay. Raheem Mostert's.
Bingo!
I can believe that, though, Turf.
Bingo!
In the red zone, he's really good.
I don't care what zone. He's averaged 5 yards a carry in his career to date. He's in the class of nobody else other than 2 people.
Right. Right.
And that's with the qualification of X amount of carries. You see what I'm saying? Because if you want to go and look back at 5-6 years players, right? And shout out to my TRS crew, because this is where I got to, divulge all this information and really mine it out. But you're looking at a Napoleon Kaufman, something like that, with a 5-year career that averaged 5 yards per carry or something along those lines. But it's short. That's a 5-year career. Ashton Jeanty was picked at the number 6 pick. That's a decade plus. I'm sorry. You're a failure, in my opinion, if you don't last a decade in the league being picked number 6 in the first round. I ain't even getting to numbers yet. I'm just saying, if you're number 6, I need you to be a decade guy.
Right. Right.
Because now my next question is, who actually really thinks Ashton Jeanty is going to average more than 4 yards a carry this year? Who thinks that's really going to happen for him? And don't get me wrong, it very well. He might average over 5. A lot of guys have done it. DMC, Darren McFadden, averaged over 5 yards a carry. His first year, I want to say. Overall, nowhere close.
Well, I mean, we'll see, Turf. Like, again, man, it depends on how often they want to give it to him, right?
Even still, I mean, even if you average 200 carries, that's still, do the math. It's just not a lot of, it's not what people are expecting, and that's my whole point.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
If you average 4 yards a carry, right, at 200 yards, right, that's what? Let's look at that. 4 yards a carry times, hold on, 4. Oh, shoot. Number lock. 4 times 200. Damn it. I should be able to do this easily in my head, but I want to make sure I'm right.
800 yards, Turf?
That's what I'm saying. Yes, that's nothing. That's nothing. He is not. You didn't draft him at 6 for that. Do you know how hard it's going to be for this rookie to get 200 yards? I mean, 200 touches this season without being murdered?
Right.
Murdered. I don't think he's going to average 4 yards a carry. I think because of the fact we have no one wide receiver, because of the fact they're going to look at, hey, find a way to do what you can as far as with Bowers will work with everything else, but do not let Mostert and Jeanty run all over us.
Right.
But I just wanted to make sure I put this up there and put this out so people can actually really see what's going on here. Ashton Jeanty is small. He's not a big dude, man. He's just not. He's not. I mean, let's keep it a bean. Look at him and look at Lobby. Lobby's actually taller than him.
Yeah, Lobby, you already know how I feel about
Janty is literally the shortest dude in this backfield room. Potentially the smallest, regardless of how his big arms look. You see what I'm saying, man?
No, I know what you're saying, Turf. It's just that the other thing I'll push back on when
yes, please, yeah, push back,
is that there's so many guys right now on OTAs, and I get it. You're not going to talk badly about your teammate, but I don't think they're talking good about Genty every time they're asking about Genty, and it's all different folks talking about Genty.
Right.
I mean, he must be showing out. You know what I'm saying? Like, he must
they're
be
in booty shorts. They're in booty shorts and tank tops. Of course, they're going to be showing out. That's right. And like you said, who's ever going to say he's not when you pick them number 6 and you need him to absolutely be that? You're never going to say, he's not what we thought we were going to be during OTAs. That's not going to happen. They're never going to say that. Well, I mean, look at Tyree Wilson. Look at what we thought we were going to get with him. They've been hyping him.
I always back Tyree Wilson just because, again, I wanted C.J. Stroud that year. You remember, C.J. Stroud wanted to fight here. I thought we were going to draft him, and we didn't.
I wanted Jalen Carter, period.
Okay.
Point blank. I wanted Jalen Carter, period. He was right there.
But the whole thing with Tyree is I never really counted his rookie year because of the injury. And then year 2, he showed improvement. But what I'll also say is he had to deal with that whole coaching fuck-up that we had.
Right.
So I'm really giving him the rope. I'm like, all right, you're with Pete Carroll. This is year 3, so good, bad, or indifferent. You're in the league now. This is your junior year, so you know what the league is all about. And if you don't show us what you can really be this year, then, yeah, going into the 4th year or even this year, you're probably going to get traded for whatever we can get you. But I believe because of how he looked in the second half of last year, you're going to – hey, look, I know hella people are high on Kuntz, right? I get it. But coming off that leg injury, I don't know how good he's going to be, man. Don't be surprised if Tyree Wilson takes reps away from Kuntz. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there, Turf.
I mean, to tell you the truth, that's not who I'm worried about taking reps from him. And I don't say worried, meaning that I'm actually worried. I'm looking for my guy, Ja Joyner, to come in and steal some of them reps.
He's talented, but honestly, Turf, what's the reason why he didn't get drafted? There had to be a reason why he didn't get drafted.
A lot of people are asking that. The number one thing they point to is his size.
Okay. So
he's small. He's small for his, you know what I'm saying? But so is Max.
Right. Hey, number 33, by the way, on that picture is Chris Collier. 5'11", 210 from University of Lock Haven.
Yep.
That's the guy with the big legs.
That's right. I remember that. But yeah, it's not like it even matters. We know he's not making the squad. He's not.
He ain't making the squad, bro.
Ain't gonna happen.
Right.
There's no way that's gonna be the case.
Right.
So, all right. So we got Rock. Man, Rock is rocking with us today. I like it, man.
Rock, I appreciate you, man.
We should be asking how many red zone TDs and short yard first downs will Janty average?
Okay.
To put his
I think that a lot of the red zone touchdowns, though, if I'm being honest, Rock, is going to go to Raheem Mostert. That's what he does.
I mean, or even Zeus. He's still on the team. I mean, believe it or not, they're going to find a way. I know. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I'm not going to sit here and act like I know. I don't. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. I mean, Zeus has either got to be okay. Zeus can be good if we're running like power Turf, but if Chip Kelly starts doing a lot of different type stuff, I don't know.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard that. What was that, Turf?
That was TikTok telling me that I wasn't using my studio, I guess.
Oh, okay. TikTok. Hey, we got a TikTok warning, y'all.
Yeah, right. Killy Yaxer says hi. Hey, Killy Yaxer. Appreciate appreciate you for coming through. Hope you enjoy the show. Come on over to YouTube. Come on over to YouTube. So hey, Rock is with you, bro. I think Rock is with you. Tyree was learning how to place his feet to be able to bend. Critical for tall, heavy guys, and add to his skill set. I agree, man, but bottom line is you look at him and you look at Jalen Carter. Who would you rather have right now?
No. And Turf, like, I mean, again, see, this is what I'm saying, though, is revision is always history, bro. But with the shit show of coaching that we had, and Rock, you could probably answer this too, is if we would have drafted Jalen Carter with all that trouble that Jalen Carter was coming with from college,
right?
He comes to Vegas. We have a shit show of coaching. Do you really think he wouldn't have gotten a DUI or something crazy? Versus he went to the Eagles with all his former teammates. You know? So, like I said, man, I don't think, like, if anything, I actually give credit to Tyree for surviving the shit show. Yeah, and for Max still kind of mentoring him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Max ain't going to give his time for nobody.
No,
you know
I agree with that. I agree with that.
So that's what I'm just saying. Like, I want it marked that on every show I back Tyree Wilson and you guys make fun of me. But if he fucking balls out this year, Turf, and he ends up stealing that position from Kuntz, and then you end up seeing Max and Tyree on the edges, I want to hear my props, bro, because I'm telling you, the guy didn't suck at Texas Tech.
Right.
He did not suck.
No, I agree. No, he didn't suck. He did not suck. He did not suck.
You know what my boxing guy, Paparenda always laughs when I say this, but my boxing comp for Tyree Wilson is Daniel Dubois, and I'll tell you what. for the longest time, man, when Daniel Dubois was just trying to figure himself out, he was on all these tough fights, and everybody kept calling him soft because of how he looks. Like, he's 6'5", he's 250, so everybody calling him soft. Who's about to maybe become the undisputed champion of the world on July 19th, Turf? Who's the current IBF world champion right now?
No, you're right.
You know, and he's only 27, and that's what I'm saying. It's like, relax, everyone. Tyree had a broken leg.
It's different.
Year one.
Football is different.
I know, but I'm just saying that Tyree Wilson had the broken leg year one, so I don't count it. Year two, I saw the improvements, but we had a coaching shit show. So now this is year 3, and this is the year where I'm going to be.
I'm not going to lie. Hey, shout out to TRS, because I'm not going to lie to you. This is where I start to realize how they feel about me when I'm talking about AOC.
Okay.
You just don't see it.
Right.
You don't see it. I'm starting to realize it too, because I'm gonna be honest. I'm listening. I always listen to other people on AOC because I know I'm biased. And I mean, maybe his feet still just aren't there, even with the added, working out. And I'm seeing other commentators that are at practice saying he's still slow, stuck in mud. So, and all I'm trying to explain to you is he's not progressing like he should have, as far as Tyree Wilson. In my opinion,
I don't disagree with it.
Right. So it's kind of hard to keep holding on to hope.
Yeah. No. I don't disagree with what you're saying about Tyree isn't progressing as expected for a number 7 pick. It would literally be like if Ashton Genty in his 3rd year or after his 2nd year still hasn't even averaged 1,000 yards per season, right? It would be like as a number 6 pick, he should actually come out the gate. Exactly. And I understand that. I totally understand that when you got people like Bucky Irving, who's the 3rd round pick coming out the gate. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I get what you're saying. What I'm saying is there is this thing that happens with athletes when they find the right coach that clicks in their head. Oh, no, yeah, absolutely. All of a sudden. It's not even the right coach. It's actually really more so, in my opinion, the right system and scheme. Because you could be the best coach on the planet. If you don't fit the scheme, it's irrelevant, right? I mean, it's just part of the situation. Right. And I think that's where he's running. I think he's running. See, because that was the problem with him to begin with, and nobody wants to bring this up. He was a project to begin with. He was never a real anything.
defensive line wise. He didn't
Right.
fit a defensive end. He didn't fit a tackle. He was a project. And that's why you can't pick projects at number 6.
Right. But
And
see,
it's
like,
not working.
Yeah, even Rock says right here, Turf, Tyree's heavily taped ankles probably hurt his defensive
Bricks all
ability.
taped up. No, I get it. We got Red Rubber Duck Gwen in the building. Ducking Illogical Canadians say hi. Same thing from Illogical Canadian. Appreciate y'all for coming through. Hope you enjoy the show. I'm assuming y'all watching this hockey game, man. I don't know. It started to get a little bit out of control, but guess what? It's tied up, ladies and gentlemen. It's 3-3. We've been sitting here talking all this talk, walking all this walk. It's 3-3. This hockey game is heating up. And I'm not going to lie to y'all. I am going to start paying a little bit of attention to it because we are hitting the third.
Now it's getting close.
Exactly. We're hitting the third. So
Now
it's
to pay attention to it, Turf.
right. Hey, and who else would you rather expect to let us know? The Canadians. Shout out to the Canadians in the building. We got Valor Sports Network in the building. Valor says hi. Hey,
Thanks.
Valor. Appreciate you for coming through. Hope you enjoy the show. We got Demon 1300 in the building. The brother above looks like Weebay in the Wire. That would be me. He's talking about the Wire. Man, you talking
Hey,
your
man,
voice,
The Wire, that was my show.
That was everybody's show. The Wire was that show.
Man, that's where Creed first showed up when he was a kid.
The Wire, baby. Hey, if you're on TikTok and X, please don't forget. Please subscribe. The Ultimate Raider Fan 32. Please subscribe. Titletown Sports Talk. And last but not least, please subscribe to Knockout Canvas. We got them all tied up today. Go hit all of those YouTube sites, Instagram, all that good stuff, man. We really, really appreciate it. We do our best to give y'all the best content we can. And like I said, I promise, especially you Canadians, man, we about to look at this final period, man. I promise you. But it's tough. It's tough because, right, it's a lot of sports going on at the same time.
Yeah,
I like what Rock had to say. He's right.
Weebay, that's so cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. No, I hear you. Like, I don't want to get too long-winded with the Raiders, Turf, and it's good that we have the back and forth, right? And you know that
Yes,
I
absolutely.
believe in Aiden O'Connell also. Like, I did a whole
Yeah.
video talking about how well he did in college, and had he come out on the year where he was taking the team to the bowl games and beat Michigan State, he would have been a top 15 pick. But again, it is what it is, right? Situational. So a lot of these players, like I'll even say Zamir White, okay? He had shitty coaching. So
Yes.
maybe he will be better with Chip Kelly. Maybe we'll see.
It's
maybe
possible.
we will see something crazy out of this kid and go, oh my God, Zamir. Wow, right? But everyone from Mumford to Parham to White, like they're all in their final years. You know what I'm saying? Like it's they do say there's that saying in the NFL, the contract year is undefeated. So let's see, because I wouldn't mind Mumford doing great. Awesome. I hope he does great.
I agree. No, I'm with you.
I mean, I would love for Dylan Parham to all of a sudden be the most amazing guard ever, right? Or even be the backup center for, like, be something, though.
Anything. Be anything.
Don't just get beat up by Chris Jones.
Correct.
You know?
Correct.
So, but yeah, no. I mean, like, I today on the press con, Turf, Kappa came up to talk, and then also DJ Glaze came up to talk. So you could tell that there's definitely a competition happening in the offensive line room.
Yeah.
But everybody's trying to get their job, right? But
absolutely.
But going into this, I feel like I don't know exactly what's happening with Miller yet, but I don't see us replacing him. So he'll make it. Glaze will make it. Jackson Powers Johnson will make it.
Yeah.
Kappa will make it because we just signed him. So really, it's that left guard position. You know, is Caleb Rogers going to be good enough to step up? Because they were already talking about how Kappa and Glaze are partnering together.
Right.
So that already told me he's in the right side.
Exactly. And that's what we need. We need that chemistry. So, and that's the key. That's the key to this, because that's where it starts, ladies and gentlemen. It starts in the trenches. It starts with those boys on the left and the right side of the center and how that chemistry works. How knowing what all of your brothers are in those 5 positions are good and bad at. When that play is called and one is weaker than one thing than the other, right? All of these things matter. Before that, right? Until that happens, guess what? You don't have no running game. And even when that happens, guess what? You still might have a running game. Why? Because now that running back has to match with that offensive line. That ain't always the same. Look at what just happened to Zeus. Clearly, he didn't match with that running game. Didn't work out. I'm just telling you. I'm not going to say I ever had a line that didn't work out. I'm going to just keep it a beam. For me, I didn't. I always found a way to make my line work. And even when my line didn't get the credit they deserved, I made sure they did, right? You know, I have all those stats and so forth. Not one of my linemen got a full ride from JUCO, but that's BS, man. I had one of the best offensive lines in junior college at that point in time. Right. It was just unfortunate that they didn't get, you know what I'm saying, their fair just due. Just being honest. You know, some of them did. You know, some of them did that first year. Second year, none. But first year, they did. So, I mean, it is what it is, man. But all of that stuff matters, man. I don't know if anybody can think back to when JJ was holding out, which was why I was saying we won't see nothing till week 8 or so, because he still didn't mesh with his line. He still didn't get that camaraderie, that chemistry, that build that you absolutely gain during those OTAs, right? All that stuff happens there. Right. He didn't get that. So.
Right. Yeah. And from what I understand, Turf, like Colton Miller mentioned it 2 days ago on the press con, he said that the entire offensive line unit, none of them left Vegas for the summer, so they all were here. So that means that they've all been trying to, you know, I mean, and again, we're gonna win as many games as our offensive line will take us this year, because there's no question that everybody can get excited with the whole, oh, look at all this different talent we have, and if Brock Bowers can do that last year, imagine what he could do now, and blah blah blah. And all of that won't mean jack squat if our offensive line cannot protect Geno Smith.
Bingo.
And can't push back on those other D lines that's going to be coming at us hard, right?
Correct.
Pause. And yeah, man, like it's all about them big uglies in the front, you know.
It's time for Turf to be fat. Sorry.
Yeah. Turf's just taking a break, y'all. So no, but Rock, I mean, you know, you have good takes, and I think Geno's going to do great, in my personal opinion, because I know what you're saying about the West, but his offensive line was absolute crap last year, and he was still able to produce. So if he can produce with that, I would like to think that our offensive line with the Raiders are going to be much better than Seattle's.
Oh, yeah.
So I think Geno will be fine. I don't think Geno.
I agree. I agree. For the record, I totally agree. I don't think it's going to come out week 1. See, I got to bring us back down to reality. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be 0-3 at the start of this season. I'm just letting y'all know that right now. These guys get mad at me, boo me. We will be 0-3. We are going to lose because
my wife's booing you right now.
She should be. But we are going to be playing in New England, where with our luck, it's going to be cold. Opening weekend at 10 a.m. our time. Right. And you're going to go beat Mike Vrabel in his grand opener.
Right.
And he's already got, 2 or 3 of our players now? Probably going to get another one. You really think you're going to go to New England and beat them? It's not going to happen.
Right.
And then you're gonna come home and guess what you're gonna get? Oh, y'all really gonna hate me when I say this one. You're gonna get the best running back in the 2025 class. His name is Omarion Hampton.
Ooh.
He's going to absolutely mollywop us and show us why he should have been the number 6 pick as opposed to who we have in National Janty. And I can assure you that Jim Harbaugh is going to be sure that offensive line is way more prepared than us. And don't forget who they got last year. That's we're going to have to deal with for the next decade and a half. Like his Hall of Fame daddy, right? And then guess where we go after that, ladies and gentlemen? Guess where we go after week 2? Being at home, getting ran through. We get to go see the quarterback we all wanted, Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, we're losing that game.
We're losing all 3 openers, if you will.
Woo! That's the only thing I can say on that one is Jeremy Chin might have some insider knowledge since he was with him last year. But yeah.
If you think Jeremy Chin's gonna have something to stop Jaden Daniels, not gonna happen.
Yeah, no,
not gonna happen.
Our best bet I think Raider Nation would be pretty happy if we somehow end up 1-2, and the one game.
Oh, I'd love that.
The Monday Night Football game.
Absolutely, would love it.
Yeah. But it is a dark reality, y'all, that we could end up starting 0-3.
Oh, easy. Hey, Rock, I'm glad you joined, man. I'm glad you showed up.
Oh no, we keep it real, Rock.
These people are real mad at me because we'll be lucky to win 6 games this year.
Yeah, no, lucky. That was my prediction.
Lucky.
I said 6.
So, yep.
And I said 6 mainly because again, man, we shouldn't be losing in the back end to teams that are also developing like the Titans. You know what I mean?
Correct.
If we lose to the Titans, then we're in trouble.
I don't think we'll lose to the Titans.
Yeah.
But we're not going to win all of our home games, ladies and gentlemen. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, no.
Don't worry, we're going to go through it. I've already gone through it. I've already went through and given my record take. I want to do it quite a few more times just to see where I differ based on right information, time go by. There's no way I'm going to get all 16, games correct or 17. It's 17 out of an 18-week season, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I'm not going to always pick the same games.
Yeah. No, I mean, I can see us losing to New England because that's their home opener. We're gonna fight like dogs, but that Monday Night Football, nationally televised, week 2, that's gonna be the one. That's gonna be the one that's gonna make everybody either a believer or not. We'll lose to Washington, and I had us losing to Chicago anyways at home. I thought Chicago was gonna be way better this year.
It's when the tickets go on sale, ladies and gentlemen. That's when them Raider tickets are. Allegiant Stadium's gonna be ripe for picking.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of Chicago fans here also. That's one of the most expensive tickets to get right now here in Vegas. I thought we might actually beat Indianapolis because they might have to start Daniel Jones,
the Colts?
bro.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we beat the Colts.
Yeah, I thought we would beat the Colts, and I thought we would beat the Titans, and then we would lose to Kansas, but then we would beat Jacksonville because I still think Jacksonville's got issues, man. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Oh, 100%. They're not ready. They're not ready.
Yeah, so I had us, and then I had us losing to Denver. Sorry, I had us splitting with Denver. So later.
You are splitting with Denver? Good luck with that.
Yeah, I had us losing to Denver when we go there, but then I had us because it's in the later part of the year, Turf. So I was like, nah, we're gonna win the home game one.
Nope.
I had us losing to the Cowboys, man. I'm sorry. I just feel like they don't suck that bad. You know what I mean? They don't suck at all. Yeah, they still got good and
they're the second best team in that division. Oh, excuse me, third best team.
Yeah, we're gonna find out what happens. But having Pickens and CeeDee Lamb, I'm already thinking, oh no, Here we go. And Jaden Blue, by the way, guys, is going to be a Jaden Blue's going to be
Monster.
good. Yeah. I had us beating Cleveland, Turf. So I had us winning against Cleveland. I did on my prediction. I had us splitting with Los Angeles just in the hopes that we would win one of them. Whether it's the later one or the earlier one of them we would win. And then, I had us week 14, dude. It's already late. That's why I had us beating the Broncos at home. I had us losing to Philly and I had us losing to the Eagles in Philadelphia. I had us losing to the Texans in Texas. But I had us beating the Giants at home.
Hey.
And then I figured that depending on what's going on with the Chiefs, for that last game of the season at Allegiant, we might still win that one just because they might not be trying that hard no more. You know what I mean?
Might be looking for that number 1 pick. I do.
So, but that's why I had us at 6. I was like, we'll win 6 games. You know.
There you have it.
So
me and you are in the same boat. Same boat. Because it's what it is, man. I don't know.
Right.
I think next year is the big year.
Yes. It's because this year is the we're figuring it out year.
Next year is where you'll see the big jump. Next year is when we're gonna be like, oh, we got a chance to go to the Super Bowl, and then we're gonna lose, right? Like,
right.
But it ain't this year.
Right. Hey, but to be honest, though, I wouldn't mind if it was next year because I believe the Super Bowl next year, not this season, but the following season, is in SoFi. So that'd be dope.
I hate that stadium.
I know, but
the
if we
dumpster fire.
Yeah, but imagine if because the Super Bowl is there. Imagine if the first Super Bowl the Raiders come back to
is in LA.
It's in LA.
I hate it.
Huge.
I hate it.
But that would be a big deal, man.
Absolutely. I hate that state. If I ever go back to SoFi Stadium one more time, I'm telling y'all, it absolutely would have to be the Super Bowl. I'm just telling y'all right now. I don't even know if I would step foot in that stadium for a freaking playoff game.
Right.
After, bro, the last time we were there, no AC, none. How do you build a $4.6 billion stadium and no AC?
Yeah, they didn't do a good job with that whole greenhouse effect thing that they're doing. That was bad. That was bad.
Nope.
That's a no bueno. Still 3-3, y'all, in this third period. Still
it
3-3. This might come down to the wire to all the Canadians watching this.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Man.
No, this was a good game.
Oilers.
It was a good game, though. It honestly really was.
Believe me, I hope Edmonton comes back because it'd be nice to have like a game.
Yeah, 2-2. Yeah, in a good series.
But yeah, Florida's just been rolling everybody, so I don't know what to tell y'all. If there's a Panthers team that's good, it's this one. It's this Panthers team.
Definitely ain't the NFL Panthers.
Oh, no. Although we'll see, I guess. We'll see. But probably not.
That's hilarious one. That's a good one.
Oh,
that's
man.
Funny.
Hey, so is that some Texas BBQ you got there, Turb?
Nope.
What?
This is Texas wifey.
Oh, okay.
By way of me putting it on the grill outside.
Okay. All right. Hey, man, that works too.
Heck yeah.
That works too.
Heck yeah, it's good too.
Hey, so while we're kind of watching this and stuff, and I don't know how many people on the chat are guys like Marcus Banks and all our boxing folks. You know, Steve Jones, Marcus Banks. If you guys are all still on, I got to start talking to Turf about some of this news. So they finally dropped Canelo Crawford announcement. And I got some insider information, Turf, that you might not have known about. So
Okay.
I wanted to share it with you. But
Heck yeah.
part of the reason why originally this has been wishy-washy from the get-go is on Cinco de Mayo weekend at Riyadh when Canelo fought Skull, they made the first announcement, right? So Crawford was there in Riyadh in Saudi. They put Crawford and Canelo in the ring, which is the first time, by the way, you really see the two of them like face to face. And then you do go, wow, Crawford is actually bigger than Canelo. Like, you know, size-wise, you start to realize it, that he's not the small super middleweight that you think he might be, moving up all this weight, right? But having said that, you know, they bring out the new Ring Magazine gold belt, and then, you know, Turkey Al-Sheikh's all excited, and they said it was Allegiant Stadium, September 12th, Friday. Dana White's going to be the promoter, and then all this. And then a few weeks go by. Silence. Then you start hearing rumors that Canelo might even retire, right? So then that's why in the boxing world, you just got to wait for official announcements, right? So then an announcement comes out, Turf, I want to say 2.5 weeks ago, where Turkey Al-Sheikh says Canelo Crawford is definitely on. It's going to be in September 13th. We're looking for a new location, and the promoter is going to be Sella. And he didn't mention Dana White. He didn't mention Netflix. So now everybody's like thinking, oh, all right, something's going down, right? And then 3 days ago, they made the official announcement. It'll be free on Netflix.
Nice.
So right away, that's a big one, because to see a fight of this magnitude for free, and it's not a pay-per-view, they're making it like how Netflix has been doing the Tom Brady roast and the Jake Paul, Mike Tyson, and they're doing a free one July 11th with Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano in Madison Square Garden, and then this one will be free. So Canelo Crawford will be free. The undercards, Turf, will be all the new talents. But Turkey Al-Sheikh is trying to get Abdullah Mason in this card. I don't think that's going to happen, by the way. I think that's a pipe dream. I don't think that's going to happen. But they're trying right now. They're trying to work it out. There's a 20-day negotiation happening right now between Top Rank and Queensberry for Sam Noakes, who's the undefeated #1 ranked WBO, and Abdullah Mason, the #2 ranked WBO. So they got to go through this 20-day period. But what I'll say, Turf, is if it goes past the 20 days and the negotiation hasn't happened, it goes to this thing called purse bid. And the funny thing about purse bid, Turf, in boxing, you guys are getting a little education chat on how it works in boxing. But if it goes to purse bid, literally anyone can bid, and whoever bids the highest wins. So me and Turf could bid on it if we wanted to. If we had a promotional license, we could go, we're going to throw our hand in the hat and bid X amount, because it's all like silent bidding. And now let's keep it 100, Turf. Is anyone really going to outbid Turkey Al-Sheikh? You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Abdullah Mason might make $10 million for his first world title fight just because, man. So if it goes past the 20 days, there is a possibility that we'll see Abdullah Mason on September 13th fighting for a world title with Sam Noakes, just because Turkey outbid everybody.
Right.
You know, and he's like, well, I own it now. so y'all can't do nothing about it no more, right? So we'll see what happens over the next 20 days. But both me and Turf are very excited over Abdullah Mason. We believe that he could be the future of boxing. And if you guys don't know who this kid is, look him up. Top Rank Boxing, Abdullah Mason, press highlights, and you'll see what we're talking about. This kid is 135. He's 5'10", almost 5'11". He's 5'10". He's only 20 years old. I think he might have just turned 21.
Right.
I mean, this kid can have the same trajectory that Oscar De La Hoya had. And he's not afraid to fight anybody, man. He's ready to fight everybody. So I like that. I like that about this kid. Sam Noakes is no joke, though, Turf. Just so that you know, I'm saying.
Oh no, he's got to fight.
Yeah, no, Sam Noakes can fight. That's why he's ranked number 1. He's undefeated for a reason. So he's kind of like their Abdullah Mason over there in the UK. So anyway, Canelo Crawford, free on Netflix. It's going to be shown to 300 million global. So we don't even know what the numbers are going to be on this one, but it'll be huge for sure, right? But the kind of the tidbit news that's now starting to circulate is there was a weird riff between Turkey Al-Sheikh, Dana White, and Netflix, which is why Turkey was like, fuck it, I got all the money, I'll do it myself. And it was actually the CEO of the WWE, Nick Khan, who stepped in and became kind of like the power broker for all the egos. And he saved it. He saved it so that it's on Netflix. He saved it so that Dana would still be the promoter. Right. So now all of this is official, and they're starting to look at a lot of what the undercards are going to look like. And ladies and gentlemen, don't be surprised if, because this is a free televised Netflix boxing event, that you're going to remember that it's 300 million global, right? So you're going to see the next Indian from India, Golden Boy on this undercard. His name's Nishant Dev. And if you guys want to know about this kid, Nishant Dev, watch him this Saturday. He's fighting in New York. It's free on YouTube. You can just go to Matchroom YouTube and you'll see him. This kid won he was the kid that lost to our guy, Omari Jones, in the Olympics in 2024. Right. But this kid, man, Turf, at 154, this is a tall Indian kid, man. He's built like a rock. He's got long arms, good power, good speed. So he'll be in the undercard. There's this other guy, Tara Moana from Australia, who, Turf, check this out, 6'7", almost 300 pounds of pure boxing IQ too, dude. This guy's amazing. He's currently 7-0 with 7 knockouts. He's fighting in New York this Saturday, so if you guys want to see that, that's also free on YouTube. Tara Moana is going to be if everything goes right, he'll be like the next coming of a Lennox Lewis type, because he's really good. He's built well, but he might be on the undercard at Allegiant. And I say Allegiant because that's the other news that's happening right now, is because the boxing group, the TKO, is talking about, Turf. It's Zuffa Boxing. I don't know if you knew this, but Zuffa was the company that the Fertitta brothers owned. Yes, I did know that part. Right? Okay, when they had the UFC. And the Fertitta brothers, for you guys who don't know anything about Vegas, owns all the station casinos here in Las Vegas, and they're pretty much the Sopranos. Yeah. They rule Vegas, man. Whatever they want, they get, right? But Turf, they're also a huge contributor to the UNLV football team. Right. So on September 13th, UNLV is playing Idaho State at Allegiant. But I don't know that, man. That's Coca-Cola. I played there. Okay, Idaho so check State, this out. Old school, yeah. There are talks happening right now for UNLV to play at a different facility. Huh. You know, and they're going to get some kind of contribution. Right, what? To play in a different facility. Yeah. Okay, so that the Canelo Crawford event can happen at Allegiant Stadium on the 13th. On September 13th, right? So that'll be a big weekend for us because Raiders are playing September 15th, Monday night. Canelo Crawford. So Turf, man. That's how much money you're willing to spend that weekend. The opener. Yeah, that's the opener. I know. That's what I'm trying to tell you is I don't know what's going to happen with your bank account, Turf. Yeah, it's going to be ugly. That's what it's going to happen. Crawford, you might want to play some bets right now and make some money real quick. Heck yeah. You know, but that's kind of the news that's happening. And you and I were talking about this on the first episode of the Knockout Canvas, so you guys will get Turf's take on this, but Canelo Crawford, y'all, and if you're in the chat and you're listening to this, Marcus Banks or any of you guys, Turf is 100% convinced that not only will Crawford win, but he's gonna knock Canelo
Knock
out.
him out. Knock him out.
Shocker, man.
I believe it.
I mean, hey, you and Terrence Crawford. I mean,
Hey, he's not going to run. I mean, all I got to say is give me a fight where Terrence Crawford ran. Even against the kid at 154 where everybody felt he had his toughest problem. Did he run?
No, he doesn't run. Even against, yeah.
If anything, I was going to say, if anything, they said the other guy ran.
It was just confusing. It was an ugly fight, Turf.
I agree 100%. For a Terrence Crawford fight, it was absolutely ugly.
Right. Right. But
he's my guy. He's my guy, bro. That's my.
I know. And again, I always try to remind everyone: don't hate on me. Some of you guys, and I'm not going to name any names, but some of you guys who know me are going to start to think like somehow I hate Terrence Crawford.
Right,
when you know for a fact, Turf, that how can I hate a guy that I was with when I was with Top Rank? You know what I mean? Like,
bingo.
I'm not going to hate on Terrence Crawford. I think he's great. I'm just going to give you the consensus pushback, all right, of what is being said about it.
Right.
That how can you guarantee that Terrence Crawford will knock out or even beat Canelo when he had a problem when he moved up to 54.
Right.
B, and this is not me saying it. So
right.
You guys could read articles about this. This is not Angelo saying it, so don't go saying it. Angelo hates Terrence Crawford. But there is a consensus feeling that has been written, and even Eddie Hearn and Terrence Crawford, Eddie Hearn, who's the promoter, who's the owner of Matchroom, him and Terrence were having a private conversation about this, and they revealed it publicly, where he was saying that Terrence Crawford is an amazing talent. There's no question about that, Turf. The problem he's had is he's never fought anyone at their peaks.
Right.
And he even asked Terrence Crawford, he said, in all honesty, like, you're a boxing intelligent person, so you tell me, bud.
Yeah,
who's the best guy you fought at their peak?
Right.
And Bud Crawford said Ricky Burns, bro.
Yes, he did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, that's what I'm saying, though. So that means that even Terrence Crawford knows he didn't fight Errol Spence at his peak.
Right.
He didn't fight Gamboa at his peak. He didn't fight Sean Porter at this peak. And a lot of people feel that a lot of these guys were already washed up by the time Terrence Crawford fought him, right?
That's true.
And again, it's not to say that Terrence Crawford, again, we're not saying Terrence Crawford sucks. It's just being put out there that how do you say a Terrence Crawford can do this when, if you look at Canelo's resume, bro, win or loss, right? Mayweather, Golovkin, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
Evil,
you're right.
Like who has Terrence Crawford fought? Just period, not even in the weights, but who has Terrence Crawford fought that will prove to you, Turf,
right,
that he can do this?
Right. Well, see, and that's the thing. It's not who he's fought, it's the style of the fight. That's the key. I think that, for one, Canelo is going to have that same thought process and issue that he had going up against Mayweather the first time. He knows he's dealing with a slicker boxer, right? He's going to be a little hesitant over that. And I think that Bud is actually the bigger of the two. I think Canelo's been the smaller of the guys in these fights he's been fighting, anywhere above 160. I just don't think he's been the bigger guy. He's just had the bigger heart. Like, he's just the better guy. You know what I'm saying? Period, across the board. So when I look at that, and I know how Terrence Crawford finishes fights, he's not going to let Canelo off the hook. I think he's absolutely going to finish that fight, and Canelo will be right there ready for it, coming forward, allowing him to do so.
Okay.
I think it's the bull versus the matador, right? Because we already know he can't allow himself to be outboxed, because then they're going to say he was the better boxer anyway, so he's got to press the narrative.
Right.
Which means he's going to get himself put in a situation that I think personally gets him caught.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think he's going to end up running into something he would have never run into for a lot of the wrong reasons. And I think that's where Bud will capitalize 100%. And then everyone will be like, "Oh my God!" I know, you know, and it's just the style.
Well,
the style.
Yeah, no, and I was telling you, Turf, when we did episode 1 of the Knockout Canvas. Shout out to Rock and Marcus Banks, by the way, who's joining in on our fun boxing conversation now. We'll put up your comment about Devin Haney, Rock, here pretty soon, because I'm sure Turf will have something funny to say about that.
Yeah.
We were saying this on episode 1 that had you, Turf, made a bet just a few months ago when they were first talking about it in Vegas, there was like a plus 600 and a plus 700. But now, bro, if you go to Vegas, it's 50-50.
Right.
You can't make no money off of Crawford now.
You can't.
And it might swing the other way. It might end up being, I'm going to tell you right now, hey, chat, listen to good old Angelo here. If it says Canelo plus 300, I'm putting some money on Canelo. Just so that y'all know.
Right. No, I ain't gonna lie. I would do the same.
Yeah, because this is too. We have, if you take away emotion from it, then and again, boxing becomes very emotional, guys, because you got to go pick your guy, right? And Turf's guy is Crawford, so I understand.
100%.
I'm just throwing out the facts that there hasn't been anyone in Crawford's resume that can tell us that he
absolutely
would do this.
No, I agree. I agree 100%. I agree 100%. I don't think. I'll put it to you this way. I will probably put money on Terrence Crawford knocking him out for the win if those numbers make sense. I'm just telling y'all right now, if those numbers, which I expect they will, that's where I'm going to put my money, because if you know Turf, I like to win big. I'm not,
Right. That's a good bet. If you're betting, you need the plus money. If you're betting, you need the plus money.
And you're right. Rock is in the building. Devin Haney has PTSD. And he runs when it's activated, a.k.a. during the fight nowadays.
Hey,
I agree.
I wanted you to put that up, Turf, because I want to give you the news on that. I think I sent you the article, in fact, about this. Yeah. So Turkey Al-Sheikh has already made it written public that he will no longer be supporting or paying for fighters that run.
Right.
And when he said that, I think everyone across the board knew who he was talking about.
Of course.
Because he just paid this dude a grip. So
he sure did. He sure
paid him a lot of money, and again, man, there's gonna be people saying Angelo hates Devin Haney. Look, I don't hate none of these people because I was with them. All right, so I don't hate nobody. I just got to give out facts and truth based on the knowledge of what I know, kind of like what Turf does when it comes to football, because he was in it with these guys, right?
Yep.
The narrative on Devin Haney is that over the last year, he's tended to complain more than just to go out there and go knock someone out or go beat someone up, right? And it wasn't a good look against Jose Ramirez, who is a former Olympian, former world champion, right? Like, that would have been a perfect fight to showcase kind of a, let me get hit, and you know what I mean, like give us some action, right? And he was visibly running around, and even if you're the most avid Haney lover, which is fine, but even you'd have to admit he was running around a little bit on that fight. He wasn't boxing the way Pernell did. Pernell Whitaker ever run, Turf? Did Pernell Whitaker ever run?
Hell no. Sweet Pea.
Exactly. So I think that the expectation for Devin Haney is to at least show us some of that, some of Sweet Pea, yes, like box, but don't visibly actually run, which was kind of shown in that New York Madison Square Garden, or I'm sorry, New York Times Square card. So yeah, no, Rock, you ain't lying, man. Thanks for making that comment, bro. You are not lying, and Turkey Al-Sheikh will no longer be paying for that.
Quick update on hockey. Edmonton Oilers up 4-3. 5 minutes left. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm watching this. I'm watching. Oh, good check. Yeah, it's getting down to the wire.
Getting down to the wire.
Because this could be it. I mean, hey, this makes it even, Steven, 2-0. I have faith in the Oilers trying to make this a series. But if they lose this game, it's over.
Right. Well, we'll see. We'll see. So, anyways, so Marcus Banks, Turf, says Crawford is bigger than Canelo walking around. So I think that's the point you were making, right?
Correct.
That you're just saying that he's bigger.
Not only that, he's a wrestler. It's different.
Yeah.
It's just different.
Turf, yeah, if you guys watch our episode 1, Turf broke down the whole wrestling mentality and how that's gonna really help Terrence Crawford in a rough 'em, tough 'em, toe-to-toe type battle.
Exactly. That dog is different in a wrestler than any other combat sport, in my opinion. It's the most grueling sport to prepare for. I honestly don't know anybody. I mean, even compared to boxing, I don't know anybody that, I've heard guys say, yeah, I'd rather train for a boxing match than to have to train for wrestling.
My opinion on it is it's really going to depend on which boxing train. If I put you through the Manny Pacquiao workout or the Floyd Mayweather workout, I'll guarantee no wrestler is going to say I'd rather do that boxing workout. They're all going to be like, I can't believe you're burning this many calories in a day. Is what they're going to say, So it just depends. But
no, I agree.
But anyway, again, my only pushback to it is, historically speaking, and we mentioned this on episode 1 of the Knockout Canvas. Please, guys, please subscribe to it. Marcus Banks, you guys who are boxing lovers, you're going to love our next episode next week too. But my only pushback to it is, historically speaking, Turf, when the smaller guy in the 30, who started in that 35 range, moved up, or in the 47s, right? And I told you that back in the late 70s, Marcus Banks, Rock, you guys might know this, but there was a fighter who was undisputed, 147 pounds. He was amazing. Montequilla, they used to call him. Jose Napoles had a closed circuit super fight.
Good
who at the time fought the number one, the best, before Hagler even showed up, middleweight in the world, which was Carlos Monzon, who was also undefeated at 160. They did a closed circuit pay-per-view super fight. The whole world watched it, kind of like what we're about to see with Canelo Crawford. And Napoles, who was undefeated, he was like the Floyd Mayweather of that era during that time. He was hitting Monzon, Turf. He was chopping him up. He was doing all the boxing. I mean, you can watch it on tape, guys, and you're like, oh, man, Napoles looks good. And then the weight is just the weight. It's just, when you're just bigger, you just are bigger. And that's what happened. And Carlos Monzon ended up stopping him. And that's why so many people believe Canelo's going to eventually get to him anyways. Because can Terrence Crawford really take that type of punishment? Because we're not talking about Jeff Horn hitting him. We're not talking about Sean Porter hitting him. We're not even talking about Madrimov hitting him. We're talking about Canelo, man. I mean, say what you want to say about the Bivol Canelo fight, but it's not like Canelo got his ass beat on that fight. He lost the fight.
Right.
There was never a moment that Bivol was like, I'll just take punches from Canelo because I can take them. Bivol was still being.
I'll be honest. There's a reason why that fight didn't get rematched.
Okay, go ahead.
No, I'm just gonna be honest. I don't think he would respect him at all in the second fight.
Ooh.
Just gonna keep it a bean. I do not think Bivol would have respected Canelo. I think Bivol respected him for a number of reasons. A, he had never been in there with him. But B, you pummel him, you mess up your money. You're guaranteed to not get a rematch. So I just thought he looked bored in that fight. I'm just being honest. Like, you know what I mean?
So you really don't think Canelo even gave him a little bit of a hard time, huh?
I don't.
Wow.
I really honestly don't. I didn't see him nervous in there. I didn't see him hurt in there. I didn't see him. I saw him cautious because he's like, hey, this is Canelo. But after that second round, he was no longer cautious. We got Spence back in the building.
Spence is back.
I've arrived. Finally.
Spence arrived. What's up, bro?
Man, long drive, but hey, I'm here.
I'm waiting to see him.
Oh, you can't? Can you hear him?
I can't. I can see him on the YouTube.
Hey, I still can't see.
I can't see him on our screen like in the studio, but I can see him on the YouTube.
I still can't see him.
Oh yeah, it won't let you see him. You can hear him though, right? You can hear each other.
No, I can't.
I can't hear
him either.
Can you hear Spence? Because I'll have to check.
I can hear Spence.
Hey, audience, tell us if you can hear Spence.
Can Angelo hear me?
No, he can't. Now that is strange.
Okay,
weird.
I can hear Spence from the YouTube. But I can't hear him at all in the studio, Turf.
Let me see.
Hold on.
So just so that you know. But anyways, guys, so I'll continue with the boxing talk. Hold on, Spence, until we fix this. There's a lot of great comments. Marcus Banks, Rock, love you guys, man. This is awesome. This is awesome conversation you guys are having there in the chat. But again, the narrative with the Canelo Crawford fight that's coming up for free on Netflix September 13th here in Las Vegas is that Canelo is big. I mean, a guy who's big enough to take punches from Golovkin, and guys, I was there front row for both those Golovkin Canelo fights.
Rock can hear me.
And you know, I again, all respect to Terrence Crawford, man.
Sorry, man, carry on. You guys were talking about Canelo.
That's great. Resume-wise, in terms of what he accomplished in being an undisputed 140 and undisputed 147, that's all great. But when we're talking about just experience of level...
Hey, by the way, quick update. When I got here, I checked the score of the hockey game. Edmonton's winning now, 4-3.
Crawford's resume that hits as hard as Golovkin. And Canelo fought that 3 times. But if you even want to say he fought it twice, right? That, you know, so that's what I'm saying is... a growing narrative is still going to be, no matter how big Crawford may look in this fight, and no matter how much he builds up his body, it's not like when Roy Jones moved up to heavyweight to fight John Ruiz.
Right.
Canelo ain't no John Ruiz.
That's odd.
He's not John Ruiz, baby. You know? So
right. I think I might know what it is. It might be on my side. Give me a sec.
Okay. All right. So anyways, yeah, Marcus Banks, Rock, that's kind of, again, as me and Turf continue to talk about that fight that's going to be coming up in September, you know, that's a lot of the narrative is going to go down to that what can Crawford really, it's more like Crawford is like the Raiders. You're going to have to prove to us how good you could be at 168 versus Canelo's like the Chiefs, you know, like
that's where I live.
We already seen you do. I mean, we already seen you beat these killers, man. We saw you knock out Kovalev. You know, we saw you like so that's where it's at. But for me, you know, and you know, Turf, with the boxing, what makes me so excited about it is finally in the USA market, free television, kind of, right? Netflix, but it's going to be shown to everyone, which and unless Crawford or Canelo both decide to not make it an action fight, which
that won't happen.
I don't think that'll happen. I think it will be an action fight. Right. This will bring back a lot of mainstream boxing audiences for the U.S. But that's why you're also going to see a lot of, you know, if Abdullah Mason can somehow be on that undercard.
Hey, we gotta go by the Panthers. Sorry,
oh.
Yeah,
so tied again. We might go to overtime.
Yeah, they know Mike. We're going to overtime. That's exactly what's happening.
Oh,
who scored?
I know you're
still working on it.
Yeah, I know, but who on the Panthers?
So I still can't hear Spence. But
I'm trying to work this out, but I don't know why.
I know. Yeah. So anyway,
I don't know who scored, Spence.
Yeah. But yeah.
I saw Kachuk had 2 goals.
The growing narrative is going to be. So yeah, the guys keep saying. Rock says they can hear you, Spence.
Everybody can hear everybody. They just can't hear. You two can't hear each other, and I don't know why that is. See if you come out and come back in.
Okay. I'll
Angelo,
go out.
yeah, see what happens.
I'll go out and then I'll come back.
Yeah,
in.
come right back. Yeah, see what happens.
All right, go ahead, Spence. Tell us what's going on with the hockey.
Yeah, I did that a couple times. It didn't change anything.
Right. Hopefully it will this time. Yeah, I don't know what is going on. You can still hear me though, right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay.
It's all good.
Let me see if I got any other issues. No, I don't. Let's see. We'll see when he comes back. We'll see if it makes a difference.
All right.
He's back.
Yes.
Yes, it worked.
Yep.
All right, everyone. We got Spence now, who's going to tell us all about what's going on with the hockey.
I do not know who scored the last goal. I'm checking, but the Kachuk looks like he's having a great game.
Yes, absolutely.
So Kachuk is having a Canelo-like game. Is that what you're saying?
He scored all the balls. He scored all the goals, right?
Yeah, he's got 2 goals in this game.
Okay.
Yeah, he scored them all for the most part.
Let's see, Reinhardt, Lundell, and then 2 for Kachuk.
All right, so here we go. We're going to look at some of these chats. Rock, Anthony Joshua has the same problem. I'm tired of seeing dude get knocked out. That's comedy. Crawford won't knock him out, but can win the fight. I agree. That's the safe bet. And like you said, there's no money that can be made now.
Yeah, that's minus money right now.
That's the safe bet. But what I'm going for is Crawford by knockout. 100%. 100%.
Rock put shout out to Josh Taylor. Yeah, shout out to Josh Taylor, bro. He's at one point he was the man. He was the undisputed champion.
Josh Taylor was the dude.
So he lost
for sure.
So yeah. No.
Then my guy Marcus Pernell Whitaker is definitely in the top 5 best defensive boxers of all time, bar none.
That's hard. That's hard. Me and Turf can get at it about Pernell because I love Pernell. But
right,
there are people who will try to argue that point. But I'm with you, Marcus.
There's very few guys like the one old school guy that I always go to because it's Connecticut, right? I mean, it's Willie Pep, bro. Willie Pep. He's the magician. I mean, I don't think anybody's gonna try to discredit his boxing prowess from a defensive side. Like
Spence, just so that you understand, like for us boxing people, Willie Pep is the only person that has been talked about in history that won an entire round without ever throwing a punch.
Oh wow,
Willie Pep.
That's impressive.
That's how good he really was. He won. The judges are like, well, this guy totally won that round. And he didn't even throw one punch. He was just making the guy look silly. Like, you can't hit me. And again, that was kind of the whole allure with Ali. And again, when I Turf, as you know, when I defend Floyd, I always say what you want, man. But that guy in his craft, it was very difficult to hit that man. Right?
Beyond difficult.
But yeah, Pernell's got to be up there. I got to tell you, Marcus, and I know you're gonna hate me for saying it, but I honestly believe that if Shakur's hands does not break, if his career could go another 10 years, because he's like 27 right now, you could be talking about a Pernell-like career. And I understand.
It's a big if. It's a big if.
If my
it's a big if. I don't know if I told you Scully was a pallbearer for Willie Pep's funeral.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, he's a pallbearer.
Yeah, there's actually, Spence, there's a great movie out right now. It's on Amazon called The Featherweight, I think is what it's called, and it's about Willie Pep. It's pretty cool.
Okay. What service is on?
Amazon.
Amazon.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, Willie
I'll check it out.
Pat he's a Connecticut native, man. You already know I'm going to be biased
Represent.
about that.
Yeah.
Very biased. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Connecticut's got to take it where they can get it.
Hey.
Hey, Rock had a question for me, but Rock asked me what it was that I was saying because you said, "What's it called, Angelo? You're in and out, so repeat." I don't know what it was.
No idea.
Carlos Monzon. Marcus Banks says Carlos Monzon was a monster. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
He absolutely was.
So before Hagler, it was Carlos Monzon. He was Hagler. Before Hagler, Hagler was the one that took over. That's how
Exactly.
Hagler became the lineal champ.
Correct.
Marcus Banks says Crawford is going to have to fight at a higher pace than he normally does.
Yeah, but I don't think that's a problem though. I don't think that's a problem at all for Spence. I mean, Crawford. To be honest, and the reason being is because Canelo doesn't move. Like you know what I mean? It's not like he has a lot to change. He's just got to change the angle, really. It's not like he's got to get on a bike and you know what I mean? Canelo's not that kind of fighter to him where he can step and turn. You're talking Crawford that can fight any side, any style, and he's gonna mix it up with you. He's not you hit Crawford, that's the worst thing you can probably do because now you got to get prepared. And we know that. Whether win, lose, or draw, that's what's going to happen for him. And his mentality, right? That mindset, it doesn't matter. He's ready for some get back. And I'm ready to see what Canelo can do with that, knowing that he's not the bigger fighter. Because he's not. I'm telling you right now, Canelo is not going to be the bigger fighter come fight night. He's not.
But isn't there some truth though, Turf, to the whole? Again, it's like, and I bring this up just because I'm pulling from history, man.
Right. Absolutely.
Roy Jones,
absolutely.
When Roy Jones moved up from light heavyweight to heavyweight,
right.
The heavyweight he chose to fight, Turf, was not Lennox Lewis.
Of course not.
It was John Ruiz. And
right.
Canelo is not John Ruiz.
Bro. Well, but see, in all honesty though, I'll put it to you this way. In this particular fight, I think he possibly can beat Ruiz. That's the problem. I know, it's tough. That's really where this fight meets the road. And now, I mean, I'm biased, though. I can admit it. This fight, I can't be objective.
Turf loves Crawford, guys.
I can't be objective. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I cannot be objective in this fight. I just can't. I'm trying,
down the middle, y'all. I'm down the middle.
I see, and I'm not. I'm not going to lie to y'all.
So how much weight is he putting on for this fight?
Okay, so Spence, let me set it up for you.
It's more.
Let me set it up for Spence. So Spence, Terrence Crawford started when I was with him at Top Rank. He started at 135 pounds. He became the 135-pound world champion, and then he moved up to 140. And then at 140, he proceeded to become what we call the undisputed champion, where you have all 4 belts, right? So now he's the man at 140. He then chooses to go to 147, ducks Pacquiao. I just got to throw that out there for you.
Leon in the building.
Right. But anyways, Crawford wins the WBO 147 title, and then he ends up having the super fight with Errol Spence in 2023 to become the undisputed champion. So that's how you know Crawford, right? So he's what we call a 2-time undisputed because he was able to do it 140 and 147. Now, at the age of 37 years old, that's how old Terrence Crawford is, Spence. He's in his head, he's thinking, I'd rather make money than to continue to fight these youngsters coming at me at 147, right? So then his first attempt at moving up in weight, Spence, was last year in LA. He fought Israel Madrimov, who was the WBA 154-pound champion. And Marcus Banks, Rock, you guys at the chat, you know for a fact that fight was close. And even though they gave it to Terrence Crawford, there are some outside of the U.S. who judge it, who believe that it was the other guy that might have won.
No, I agree.
Regardless of any of that, Spence, Madrimov is nowhere near as big or as strong as Canelo. Now, Canelo Alvarez, who you're very familiar with, has been winning world titles from 154 to 160, fighting people like Gennady Golovkin and Sergey Kovalev, and you name it, he's fought him, right? Then he moved up to 168, which is the super middleweight division. Tidbit of history for you guys who are watching us on the Knockout Canvas on YouTube or Instagram. The 168 division was invented in 84 by the IBF, and the very first 168 pound or the very first IBF champion was Hagler at 160, but I think the first 168 champion, man, I'm gonna have to look it up now because I know Hearns ended up getting it, but the 168 pound Spence, it's like a newer division, right? Because back in the old days there was 160 and 175, so then they come up with this division. Canelo might arguably be the most dominant 168 pounder of all time. Like if we're just talking about that one division, that 168, right?
Okay.
Because of all the people he's fought and the many times he's defended.
Let's keep it a beam, though. I got to interject here. The 168 division is not a sexy division.
Okay.
It's not.
No.
It's
Fair.
not. It's not
Totally
one of
fair,
your right.
Turf.
Middleweight is light years ahead, right?
Hey, fair.
It's one of those lost. It's one of those lost divisions. Let's keep it.
Okay. Yes, Turf. I will not disagree with Turf that it is not as sexy as middleweight 160 or as sexy as 175, which is like heavyweight. So I will agree with Turf on that. But having said that, all right, having said it, okay, Spence. So you got a guy who's been dominant at 168, who is currently the undisputed 168 champion. And this guy, Terrence Crawford, who is older than Canelo. Canelo's 34. Terrence Crawford's 37. Okay? By the time they fight each other, it'll be like closer to 35 and 38.
Correct.
Okay? All right? Also, this will be the first time Crawford makes this massive jump. So
I agree.
Last year he was 154, and then all of a sudden he's going to go to 168. So then if you know nothing about boxing, Spence, and you were betting money, would you honestly bet money on the smaller guy, man?
Nah. Canelo.
Yeah. You're right.
And how old is Canelo right now?
He's old.
He's 35. He's 34.
He's old.
Yeah, but he's not 37.
Yeah.
37
is Crawford, and he's going to be 38 in November.
Yeah. I don't like giving up 4 years age either.
Right. So see, Turf, and again, Spence, he doesn't have a horse in this race, man.
Right. Not at all.
This is the narrative. This is just the narrative that's going to be put out there because it's the truth.
Right.
Is this Canelo fight that you were telling me about that's going to be in
free
New York?
Free in Las Vegas on Netflix.
In Vegas. Okay.
Yeah, it's the same weekend as the Raiders opener against the Chargers.
And it's going to be at Elysian, or they're working on it right
now. Because
that sounds like a destination for you guys. Go to the fight, go to the game.
It's gonna be wild. It's gonna be wild.
Turf's gonna be broke that weekend.
I'm spending all my money week 2.
Yeah.
I won't be able to go to any more games.
Yeah. Fight tickets are
blow the budget. Blow the budget.
Yeah. Because let me ask you, Turf, and I know you're good at swinging deals, but how much was the Spence Crawford fight at T-Mobile?
Whew, that was that fight cost. That fight was. I want to say, my wife is watching this. She trying to get me killed, man.
Okay.
No, honestly, though, I think I might have paid like $1,200 for that fight.
Okay, and again, when he says that, Spence,
I might have.
Not saying he paid $1,200 to be in row 7.
No, I had the best seats in the house.
So
it was Spence Crawford. That was supposed to be the fight of the century.
Turf made that money back on his bet anyway.
That's true.
There you go. I sure did.
Now, for me, what I'll tell you, Spence, is if you've never been to a live boxing match, would say that definitely wherever you're at, you find the local show that they're going to show, and those are easy tickets to get. 30s, 20s, 40s. $80. Like they're not that much, but you'll get that excitement. But when it comes to watching boxing, unless you can be on the mid floor, in my opinion, for me, it's never worth it, just because you're not going to get all the angles. And it's very similar to NFL football. I believe NFL football is one of the most fun, entertaining things to watch, but on TV. Because unless you have a dog in the fight and you're like a Patriots fan or a Raiders fan, I don't know if you're like just an average casual fan, if you're going to really enjoy going to an NFL game, right?
Yeah,
Right.
You might enjoy it. You might enjoy it in Vegas. You sure as hell aren't going to enjoy it in the middle of February in New England.
Right.
Nope.
Right. Exactly. But you know what I'm saying though, like Spence, like if I was just trying to teach even a 12-year-old kid, hey, I'm going to take you to a game, right? And I took a 12-year-old to a baseball game. I could literally sit that kid anywhere. I could sit him second level. I could sit him third level. But there's a baseball sort of kind of, I'm at the ballpark. We're eating this cool food. It's a very relaxed pace. Like there's no real tension to it. And then you can kind of, it's a very casual fans type of a game to watch, right?
Right.
Yeah, I'll even say like NBA basketball, I would say is pretty fun to watch if you could be there live, because
100%.
basketball.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Big time.
And college experiences is completely different. If you can go to a college game, either college football or college basketball,
it's crazy.
You would love it. It's an insane experience. So that's what I'm saying is when it comes to boxing, unless you have a horse in the race, you're going to pay whatever, $1,200, $2,000, whatever for second level seats. You got to be somebody who loves that game, right?
Love
me
it.
Personally,
Gotta love it.
Yeah. Me, it's not bragging. It's just because I was in the industry, Spence, but I never sat where Turf sat because, coach don't sit up there.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
That's right.
I'm either at media row or I'm on the front row or
Right on the side.
Yeah, no. I even remember UFC 200. It was actually the worst seat experience I would say I had. I was front row for UFC 200, Turf. I brought my son there, and it feels cool because then you got all the stars around you, but then to actually watch the
can't see shit.
Sucks.
Can't see anything.
Terrible.
It's horrible. That's why I don't get floor seats.
Yeah, but in boxing, if you could be like in that row 1 through 10, man, you could see it. You could feel the sweat come out.
Yes, you can feel it, see it.
Blood.
It's wild. It is wild. I ain't gonna lie, it's wild.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild, Spence. So that's what I was saying is if you try even just a local show and then you get up there and you see that like blood and sweat's flying at you.
But you know what? What's so funny, Spence? They used to have fights that they held at this bar out in Dripping Springs.
Oh wow!
Pure boxing matches. It was actual boxing. I'm gonna find out if they do that, dude. I'll find out. I know because I actually am really good friends with one of my buddies. His name is he's got Alvarez Boxing in Austin. Oh, he's got some decent up and coming guys too. From the last time I checked on him, I have to check on him. It's been a while. Funny, believe it or not, I met him at poker. I don't mean to put you out there, Coach Alvarez. I know, exactly, but he's a poker player. Damn good one too. Yeah, but I'm gonna look that scene up again for us. That would be badass for me to take Spence to a real, you know what I'm saying? Like, because again, is it Jesse Lejas that lives out here in San Antonio?
Yeah, Jesse James Lejas. Yeah,
yes, because I hooked up with him by way of Scully, and he put me on to a couple of things that the boxing, he's like Jesse James Lejas. I don't know if y'all know who that is. He's a well-known guy.
Yeah, no, he was a former world champion.
Exactly. he's pretty known, and he does a lot in San Antonio, which is where he lives.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Spence,
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that,
Yeah,
Spence.
Spence,
I'm gonna
if you
find
get to
something
go
for us to go to.
Yeah,
All right.
if Spence gets
Done.
to go to Texas, Turf, there's like OTX is over there, the smaller arenas, right?
That's
And
right.
those are really good fights. Like those are great
Heck
fights.
yeah! You get to see the up and comers, and you're like, oh, I can't. That's that. It's where you find those guys, and
Yeah.
It's
very it is like so back in the day, Spence, that's how we would scout, is we would be watching amateur tournaments, or we would be like we'll watch a 12-year-old and be like, all right, let's see how they carry this kid. And then if he ends up in the Olympic trials, then we're really
you got something.
Oh
Yes.
man, okay, let me see what this kid can do. And then that's how you find a lot of these type of fighters, so that's what I mean about how, for you guys who are going to be watching us on the Knockout Canvas, that's one of the reasons why me and Turf wanted to build that channel, Spence, is so that we can teach people how to watch boxing, because I think it's just like hockey or like soccer, right? Like if you don't really understand how to watch it correctly in terms of what are the channels and what are you looking for, then you're not really going to understand why someone like Turf will spend the money that he spent to be third deck for Crawford, right? But it would be like you would spend money, Spence, if you were in LA and you had a chance to see Shohei Ohtani, right?
All right, yeah, hell yeah,
Yeah.
So that's kind of what happens, is that in the boxing world, like a Crawford in terms of his talents would be like Turf going, oh my God, I'm getting a chance to watch.
Going to that fight.
Again, for me, Spence, I always it's fun for me to have these conversations with Turf, because I look back at my time there, and I mean, I was watching Manny train and there with the staff, and
holding the pads,
Floyd, and because though I mean, like I always tell Turf, some of the very best fights I've ever seen wasn't even on television, man. It was in the gym.
No,
exactly. There's stories that we're going to talk about in the Knockout Canvas, but Spence, like I'll tell you one. You don't know these names, but at the time that this was happening, there was a fighter by the name of Jorge Linares, who was probably at that time like the killer at 130 pounds, right? Killer.
Okay.
This guy was amazing, world champion already, like in boxing, as a pro. And then there was this other kid who was still an amateur and hadn't turned pro yet, was deciding whether or not he might go to the Olympics, by the name of Adrian Broner.
Hey,
Adrian Broner, right? Because before he became crazy and wild and making all the money, this kid was actually like super humble, man. Like super nice, very humble kid. Yes, sir. No, sir. This was I was at Wildcard Gym at this time. Linares was training with Freddie. I was helping assist on a lot of the other different fighters that were there, and I'm taking notes. The gym was closed, so there was only maybe 10 people, maybe less. And Broner steps in because they wanted to see. And Linares needed a sparring partner. He was getting ready for a 12-round fight, right? Sure enough, man, these two are going at it. And we were like, man, this Broner kid, he's going to be somebody. Because it isn't that he was, obviously Linares was getting to him. Just any pro would get to you, right? But it's very similar to like a Michael Cooper, Kobe Bryant story that we've heard, where when Kobe was being tested as a high schooler by Jerry West, Michael Cooper, who was one of the best defensive players for the Lakers, was like, I've never seen anyone like this, right? And that's kind of what it was like to see these type of sparring sessions where you like Turf, you know who Jose Benavidez Jr. is, right? That's the older brother of David Benavidez, who Spence, you now might know who David Benavidez is because he's Mexican-American, the monster who Canelo's avoided. He's a 175-pound champion now, right? Okay, so here's a one for you. When I was at Wildcard, and Jose Benavidez Jr. was the sparring partner for Manny Pacquiao, the fat little teenage kid that used to hit mitts on the second ring. was David Benavidez. And
Oh, wow.
and again, you just see, like, it's funny, like, you see them travel through, and just through osmosis or whatever, like, they end up becoming, this thing. So anyway, yeah, man, it's hard for me to it's hard. It's kind of like when you get in. It's kind of like what happens to Turf when he was in football. It's hard for him to idolize another running back.
Right.
It's like, dude, I kind of know what it took to get there, and if this and that, you know what I mean? Like, so for boxing, for me, it's hard for me to be like, oh my God, Terrence Crawford is so amazing. When it's kind of like, I saw him kind of grow up in this, like for me, those people were like, Hagler, right? Like, Hagler was amazing because I was just a kid when I was watching that, or even like watching Roy Jones was so amazing to me to see with my eyes, because he really kind of encapsulated American, like what it was to be like that Michael Jordan-esque aura of a boxer, right? And then we haven't had something like that since Sugar Ray Leonard, Spence. And,
Nope.
And again, I don't know if you're older than me and Turf, but Sugar Ray Leonard, dude, was like Coke commercials,
He's mainstream.
Yeah, he was big time.
Yeah,
Mainstream.
So that's why with the channel, with the Knockout Canvas, me and Turf are trying to introduce to everyone who will be their version of Sugar Ray Leonard, which is why I'm trying to tune you in, Spence, to Jaron Bootsinas, right?
Hey, did you see the big news on him today?
Well, yeah, I sent you the news about that today, Turf. That Jaron Bootsinas, who I think I sent you the highlight, Spence, that when he destroyed Stanionis, which nobody's ever done before, and he unified the WBA and IBF, he became the Ring Magazine champion. At this point, though, because of the political game that does happen in boxing, the 24-year-old 147 champion, Brian Norman Jr., was offered, I think, almost $2 million to do a unification, and the 24-year-old kid and his team said no, which is their right. They can say no. I'm just saying, if I was 24, I might have said yes, but I mean, like, $2 million is nothing to say no to. But whatever, whatever. Maybe he believes
to each his own.
Yeah,
right.
Because you're gambling your career, right? If in any professional sport, if somebody offers you X money, but you somehow believe you can make more later, you're just gambling, because we don't know what injury is going to happen between now and then, right?
Correct.
So
That's
you
a
can
great
take
point.
this guarantee now, and even if you lose the championship, you at least got this money, and then you could go build yourself back up again. Like my somebody who I knew very well, Paulie Malignaggi. That's what he was.
Hey, pillow hands,
You're
Paulie.
offering me X million to fight Cotto right now, right? Like and he was undefeated at the time when he did that. So, I mean, he got beat up pretty bad too. To this day, he talks about how bad he got beat up on that fight, but. He took the money, and at the time he wasn't scared, because he was like 23 or 24.
Right.
So anyway, Brian Norman didn't want to do it, and of course you heard, Spence, either through me or through regular mainstream media, that 46-year-old Manny Pacquiao is making a comeback, buddy.
I don't like it. I'm not gonna lie. I don't like it.
They ranked them
Fill the
number
bank
5
account
right away. Spence, he's fighting for the WBC 147 title, y'all, on July 19th here in
What's
Las
the purse?
Vegas. So and again, Turf knows that I can never go against Manny Pacquiao because I was a part of the team. And but what I will also say, Spence, as a Marcus Banks and Rock, I'm just being down the middle, guys. So don't hate me for saying this, but Barrios isn't the best 147 champion. And and Mario Barrios, Spence, does tend to get hit a lot. Also, Mario Barrios has already been knocked out by Gervonta Davis, has already been beaten by Keith Thurman, and in his last 2 fights, he was dropped. He won one, and then the last one on Netflix was a draw. So could I see Manny Pacquiao win? Yes, I can.
Right.
Like in this particular scenario.
If Pacquiao's been training, I think it's possible.
Yeah,
I don't.
Yeah, well, see now, and that's fair.
I don't. Yeah.
Fair about this, right? This is my whole thing. Like when I say turf, if I handed you a ball now, if I gave you 3 months to train, and I said turf, I just need you to give me 4 yards.
Right.
But in the pros with the real dudes right now,
Right.
you're gonna get 1 handoff, and I just need you to get 4 yards. Could you do it, right? And that's kind of the thing. But Spence, what I will say is that, and this is where the Jaron Boutsinas news comes in. If Pacquiao were to win, there's no way Pacquiao's going to fight Jaron Boutsinas.
No, absolutely not. No one would ever let that happen. No one would let that happen.
Now, if Mario Barrios wins, there's no way he's ever going to fight Jaron Boutsinas.
Wouldn't make sense.
This is the politics where Jaron Boutsinas today and his promoter and his dad already made the announcement that he will now be moving up to 154 pounds.
Hey.
This is what you do with your career when you're 23 years old.
Right.
And you already know you're the best at 147, but none of the other guys want to fight you. You move up.
Correct.
And this is why, again, since we're talking about watching boxing correctly, for all of you guys on the chat who may say, oh, the problem with boxing is they should only have 1 belt. Guys, back in the old days when they did have the 1 belt, the problem at that point was you guys wouldn't even know who Ezzard Charles is, because Ezzard Charles beat everyone. He never got a shot at the world title.
Yeah.
And he beat everybody, Spence. But he never got a shot at a world title, because the way the world title fights worked is it needed to be 15-round fights, right? So he beat all of these guys at their peak on all these different other fights, but he never got a chance to fight for the world title. So I look at the world championships in boxing, Spence, like college football, right? There's the ACC and the SEC and the, whatever, Pac-12, whatever you want to call it. Everybody gets a chance to be at a bowl game, man. You still got to be pretty good, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Doesn't it feel like the promoters have too much power in the whole?
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
Well, Spence, used to be worse, but in the last 2.5 years, because of a person by the name of Turkey Al-Sheikh.
Yeah, you were telling me about him.
Yeah, which really means Saudis' money. Like imagine if the American economy had money to put into any of the sports. Like the federal government was putting money into the NFL or was putting money into the NBA. Or that's literally Saudi money goes into soccer, racing, esports, and boxing. That is,
So I got a quick question, man. This is going to be educational for me and anybody else. Is it first goal wins in overtime for finals and the playoffs in terms of hockey, or is it you get a second?
Sudden death. I think it's sudden death.
It is sudden death.
I think
first goal wins.
So sudden death, really? Is it like in Mighty Ducks where?
Oh! Score!
It's over. It's over.
Dog, this is a good game, bro.
Who scored?
I was watching this. Freaking Florida. Edmonton, the Oilers, thank God, made it a series.
So this might be a 7-gamer, Spence. This might end up being a 7-gamer.
Dude, this was a great game. And I'm not gonna lie, we were over here just chatting it up, and I completely missed those three goals to come back to tie it up. As far as
it was unreal.
That
4
was
in a row.
A hell of a game right there, ladies and gentlemen.
That was a great,
Drysdale? I don't even know how you pronounce that. Drysdale?
Driesel?
A hockey game with 9 goals total.
That's huge. Insane. That's huge. That's a great game.
That's the equivalent of a football game with like 65 to...
Yeah, exactly. 55 to 60. That's a great game.
Yeah, but they waited until the third period to do all the scoring.
Put it all down. Yeah, exactly.
Hey, do you think part of that, Spence, and again, I don't know hockey this way, but is part of that because the first 2 periods was like they were kind of wearing each other out, learning all of the different moves, but by the time you get to the third period, we already know each other's moves and people are tired?
It's possible.
Well,
it's possible because I don't know how. I didn't watch the game, so I don't know how the flow was. But
I think it's game plan. I think it's you got to remember again in hockey, this is a marathon. It's not a race, right? That's why the score is 1-0 and to set things up, it takes quite some time in order for it to work. So, in my opinion, I think that's what it is. It's just a matter of who's got the better game plan, who executes it, and if you can get up on the lead and play defense, you got a much better shot at winning the game. So,
Right.
So on the flip side, the Florida had a 3-0 lead and lost the game.
that's like horrible. Yeah, they're never going to.
That's pretty bad, right? Like in terms of
that's
hockey,
horrible.
that's pretty bad to give up that many goals.
That's a 30-point. That's a 30-point blow off. Like, yeah, you're up by 30 in the NBA and you lose still. That's what 3 goals are. 2 goals, you're up by 20. 3 goals, you're up by 30 and you still lose. Yeah, that's bad.
I was gonna say that's a little. I mean, it's not an equal equivalent, but
No.
I sent it to you, Spence, and I wanted you to watch it because me and Turf were talking about it on episode 1. But this past weekend, the best fight I would say that I saw was the heavyweight fight in the UK in Ipswich, between Justice Hooney versus Fabio Wardley. So both of those guys are at their prime. One guy's 30, the other guy's 26. They both were undefeated. Again, best versus the best, man. Nobody outside of the U.S. is afraid to go against each other because they don't care about losing. They care about fighting the best people. So these guys are going at it, Spence. Like the first 4 rounds, you're like, I don't know what's gonna happen. And then the guy from Australia, the 26-year-old, starts to break away, kind of like the Panthers. Just starts to break away free, right? It's getting to the 10th round, bro. And Fabio Wardley might have maybe won only 2 rounds up to this point. And it's a great action fight. But again, heavyweights. Okay, so one guy's like 250, the other guy's like 245. Like, these are big dudes. They're hitting each other. Spence, the one thing that is different about the sport of boxing is unlike any other sport, you can come back at any time, at any given. When I was training, when I was training people, Spence, I would always tell them, imagine every sequence that you're fighting are 10-second sequences. Don't look at an entire picture, because if you and me are in the danger zone space where I can hit you and you can hit me, I'm in a 10-second time clock at that point.
Right.
Like, I have to be aware of what you can do to me. And again, I don't mean I'm not going to punch you. Of course I'm going to punch you, Spence, because I have to punch you to get you off me somehow, right? But I have to be aware. Like, I can't get careless within that 10-second period. So anyway, he's winning. He's beating. All he has to do for 3 more rounds, Spence, or less than 3 more rounds, because it's already the 10th, is just box away. But he's in his rhythm, kind of like the Panthers, right? Hey, man, we're winning. It's 3-0. No problem, right?
Trying to end it.
One shot, Spence. Bang! 1 shot. Couldn't get up. Knockout. And the hometown guy, the crowd was going crazy. Spence, they were in the rain in the soccer stadium. They were in the rain, brother. Right? They were wearing like rain hoodies. Like, this is how wild it is outside of the U.S. And we want to see the U.S. get back into this type of a fandom, right? We want to have more Terps paying outrageous money to go sit in the third level. But you won't be able to do that, Spence, and your kids won't be able to do it until they start seeing free television boxing again, which is what's going to happen, which is why Netflix is doing what they're doing. But that highlight I sent you, it's 8 minutes of the whole fight, but you are going to go, oh my gosh. This is
all right, I'll look at it.
Yeah. But and then before we leave Turf, I just want to update everybody, Rock, Marcus Banks, all you guys who are watching boxing. Remember that this Saturday in New York, there is a fight. The free portion starts at 3 p.m. on YouTube. So you can go to the Zone, DAZN YouTube page, or go to Matchroom Boxing YouTube. It's totally for free, right? You're going to get to see some of the people me and Turf have talked about. The Oscar De La Hoya of India, the Tara Moana, the 6'7" guy, who's the heavyweight from Australia, 7-0, 7 knockouts. You get, Shakur Stevenson's cousin, Turf, is fighting Zach Queen Moses. That's the guy who beat Moten. That's the guy who beat Carmel Moten in the amateur.
Ah, that's a big one.
These are all free again. Free.
Wow.
And then you have to have the DAZN subscription to watch the main event. The main event is Richardson Hitchens versus George Kambosos. So Kambosos, Spence might know because Kambosos was the guy who beat Teofimo Lopez a few years back in New York. And then that was a huge upset, right? He's from Australia. He's also the guy, that's how Devin Haney, I know, Rock, you're going to hate me saying this, but this is how Devin Haney became undisputed, is because Kambosos had all the other belts, and then Haney had one of the belts, and then Devin Haney beat Kambosos in Australia. So that's how he became undisputed. But George Kambosos, who's only had the 3 losses, the 2 to Devin Haney and 1 last year to Lomachenko. And you would know, Spence, would you know who Vasily Lomachenko is? Are you familiar with?
I know who Lomachenko is.
Okay, great. All right, awesome. So Lomachenko, he lost to Lomachenko last year, and now he's already won a couple of times, and he's doing his comeback fight in America in the same arena that he won the titles from Teofimo Lopez against Richardson Hitchens, who Turf was even a little unfamiliar with Richardson Hitchens, but for you guys, and I understand why Turf was unfamiliar with him, because a lot of these guys, Spence, because of, again, the politics of boxing, they get hidden. But Richardson Hitchens fought for the United States in the 2016 Rio Olympics. And in my opinion, and you'll like this, Rock, in my opinion, he was better than Devin Haney. Devin Haney was getting a lot more promotional clout, but in my opinion, Richardson Hitchens was the better product. Because he was 5'10". Like, imagine this, Spence. I don't know how tall you are, but this kid is 5'10". He makes the 140-pound limit. Right away, that's pretty tough. That you're already looking at a very tall, fast kid here. Okay. And he's got the pedigree. He's undefeated. New York doesn't have a lot of world champions, and he's the world champion at 140 for the IBF. So this is his first title defense in New York. And this will be, to me, it'll be a very, very exciting fight. So that's the main event on DAZN. If you have the DAZN subscription, please watch that.
Yes, sir.
Turf will break that down next week. And then Turf, Andy Cruz, who's the gold medalist from the Tokyo Olympics, he's the co-main event.
Okay.
And, he's fighting the Japanese contender for that. So it's an exciting card.
Yes.
And I know, Spence, you don't have a lot of time for it yet. That's why I tried to send you the highlights. I give you the highlights so you can
you give us everything. Angelo, you give it all out. Shout out to Real Talk Raider Nation. We got Angelo in the building. What's good, fellas? Hey, that's 805 right there, ladies and gentlemen. Real Talk Raider Nation. You're talking one of the most down-to-earth, logical, amazing takes, and just good dude all the way around. And the show is fire. I mean, it speaks for itself. He's been out in these streets way longer than me. Go check him out. Real Talk Raider Nation. Can't wait to check your takes on a few of these things, man. We got to get together, 805. We're going to do that soon, for sure. But, yeah, we got a great game tonight.
Yeah.
Unexpected.
Absolutely.
We definitely talked about all. We talked about basketball. We talked about hockey. Shout out to the 2-2 new series, right? Well, I mean, hey, 0-0 at this point, so I'm feeling it. I'm excited. Yeah. But yeah, it's a great time to be alive for sports, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great time, and we're going to continue to keep talking it and walking it and putting ourselves out there, right? I love putting myself out there. I've been telling everybody my biggest take right now that is really hurting people's feelings Raheem Mostert, man. I've been trying to get people prepared for this. So, Spence, I'll just catch you up a bit. I'll just play this little quick tidbit of fact that people don't know. How many running backs do you think for their entire career, no matter how large or small, how many do you think have averaged 5 yards a carry?
Handful.
And guess one of those handfuls, Raheem Mostert. I'm just, people want to wonder why I say the things I say. I pulled up a picture, Spence. Ashton Jeanty is the smallest running back in our room. He's literally the small. Him and McCormick are very comparable. McCormick might have an inch on him in height. He might have 5 pounds on McCormick in weight. That's what we're looking at. But I think a lot of people are taken aback by my takes because they think that Raheem Mostert is just going to come into the building and, I'm going to take a back seat to this rookie phenom. No, he's coming in to take that spot. The guy averages 5 yards a carry. He's exponentially faster than Ashton Jeanty. If this O-line does what this O-line says it's going to do, behind JPJ, and I don't know if y'all got a chance to see what he had to say about how he likes to keep his running backs clean, his quarterbacks completely healthy so they can throw the ball to their sons. I'm telling you right now, man, Raheem Mostert fits that description way better than Ashton Jeanty. I'm just telling you, right? Ashton Jeanty can't hit that seam like Raheem Mostert can.
The only problem with Mostert is that he's wound very tight.
Right. Yeah, he can't stay healthy. He can't stay healthy. But I'm just saying, I just want to put that take out there for when people start to see, well, why is Mostert getting so many more touches? He's a proven guy. He's proven already. We're not talking Mountain West and what he's going to do in the NFL. He's been here for a decade. You see what I did? And people have the nerve to say, I'm the one that's crazy, saying he can't carry his jockstrap right now. Ashton Jeanty can't block on third down right now. He cannot block in the NFL on third down right now.
Jeanty won't be on the field third down. Won't.
So I just had to put that one out there because a lot of people, I got a video on TikTok and it's gotten quite the notoriety and comments on the take and the basic, the gist of it is I flat out said he can't hold Mostert's jockstrap, and people think I'm crazy, but stats don't lie. This kid doesn't have a single carry in the NFL. He doesn't have a single carry yet.
Why didn't Mostert start in Miami?
That's a great question.
I never understood
A-Chain. They had another guy, too. Who was the third guy? They had a 3-headed monster in Miami.
Yeah, no, because remember when they rolled Denver, Spence? They had A-Chain, Mostert.
And they had another one.
God, who was it?
He was a rookie, the guy they drafted last year. A-Chain was 2 years ago, and they drafted another one last year.
Yeah.
All I know is they had a 3-headed monster. All 3 of them were track stars, right? All 3 of them, from what I remember. Not just 2. Yeah. We're talking all 3 running backs because they also had the track stars in Waddle and Tyreek. So it was just ridiculous.
Right.
Yeah, but A-Chain's too small.
They have Alexander Madison now?
Yeah, they do. That's where he went.
And Gordon, the second.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah. I think they drafted Ollie Gordon, didn't they?
Yes.
Yeah. So
they drafted another running back this year.
They had to. They lost Mostert. Yeah.
Miami did.
No, but they've drafted running backs last 2 years.
I think there's an injury thing happening there though, because that's what happened to A-Chain. He got injured. He was awesome.
Yeah.
He was like fantasy football dream.
Little guy.
Right.
Little guy.
Yeah. Same thing happened with Keaton Mitchell. For the Ravens. Great speed, but like you said, Spence, small, so you get injured.
As great as those guys are, they just don't. They can flash, but they're never like. I will never draft A-Chain in any fantasy draft because he's unpredictable. You don't know if you're going to get it for the full season. You might get a game here and there. He's not going to give it to you every week. I felt the same way about Dalvin Cook when he came into the league, but I mean, Dalvin Cook put on like. Do you remember him at Florida State, man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was like a little toothpick, and when like third year in the league, he's thick.
Yeah.
Thick.
Yeah. No, well, I mean, Dalvin Cook, like James Cook is an example of that, though, right
Yeah.
there.
Correct, his brother.
He does do well, you know what I'm saying? But, again, man, he's trying to get his money right now because you never know. You never know.
Yeah, well, they're
Jeff
trying
Wilson
actively
Jr.
to take his time.
They had Jeff Wilson Jr. and they had Jalen Wright behind A-Chain and Mo.
Jalen Wright.
Wilson
That's
and
what
Wright,
it is.
yeah.
Yeah, they had Jalen Wright. That's what it was.
Bro, they had a whole track. They had a whole 4x1, bro. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Well, I mean, again, the tough thing, too, about picking running backs is look at what happened to Jonathan Brooks with Carolina. He's not – now this is going to be the second year. He's not playing. So that's 2 years in a row.
Right.
And that's what I was telling Turf is –
Career's in jeopardy before it even starts.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying to Turf is I hope Ashton Genty doesn't get like that, like where we overuse him in the first 8 games and then, you know, it ends up being bad, right? Like you already drafted him in the sixth position. Like let's protect him a little bit.
Yeah, I think the worst thing that could happen to Genty is the Ricky Williams effect, right? Like so hyped. He's like the most hyped running back I've seen in the last decade.
Yeah.
Even more than Saquon, right?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Definitely more.
Absolutely.
And Saquon is if you side by side them, Saquon is like superior in every aspect to this kid.
Yeah, no, he's massive. Saquon's bigger. Saquon's stronger. Saquon also did get injured though, in that rookie year, I think it was.
Yeah.
So,
but you remember like Ricky Williams, like the Ditka traded basically like everything to get him because he thought he was going to be him.
Yeah.
And he wasn't.
Right.
And like that, I feel like that like stigma like followed Ricky Williams through his NFL career, and he wasn't a bad running back. He just never lived up to that level of expectation.
Right.
And I'm worried that's kind of like what's going to happen to Genty is like he's got so much expectation on him now that if he falls short, like what is Rundown saying for his rookie numbers? I was like, if he hits those numbers, that's like Hall of Fame.
Exactly, and it's not gonna happen. I've been trying to set people up for that.
And now, Spence, here's the thing, and this is just my counter. I'm not saying either way, guys, so don't kill me. But Darren McFadden, who I was huge on Darren McFadden. Coming out of college was amazing, right?
Yeah.
Raiders draft him, right? And we're thinking, I mean, I got his jersey and everything. Spence, I was like, all right, we're gonna roll with McFadden. And you know,
I was ready to get a McFadden jersey. I loved him.
Yeah. So injuries, and that's what always concerns me is like overuse and injury. The other guy that I always point to, and you'll remember this, Spence, is do you remember Cadillac Williams when he got drafted to Tampa?
Oh wow,
Cadillac,
right?
Another one.
Everybody thought he was going to be the next Bo Jackson. Okay.
Nope.
I mean, he was breaking records like crazy in just those first 4 games.
Nope.
And then injury, man. Like that's that's what I'm worried about with Genty. Is it's like if you're willing to draft a quarterback in the first 10 picks and protect that quarterback, then why wouldn't you do the same for a running back? Why does your brain automatically think, well, now you're gonna have to, like the reason why we did get Raheem Mostert is because he's a red zone threat. He's very good at getting touchdowns. Like he just knows how to find those seams. So why would we abuse Genty? I think if anything, Genty should learn behind Mostert. Maybe get 1,000 yards because it's a lot easier. Like getting 1,000 yards now, and I'm not trying to be rude, Turf, because you played the position, but 18 weeks in a season now, getting 1,000 yards should be your average if you're starting.
It should, but it still doesn't happen a lot, and that's the problem. Again, that's why I have to temper people's expectations because, bro, it's hard. I don't know how to explain it, but it's just not what people are thinking. Because a lot of people think, oh, it's just easy to average 4 yards a carry. No, it's not. It is not. It's not easy.
I think people are looking at Pete Carroll thinking that he's going to treat this kid like Marshawn Lynch. I think it's more likely that he's going to treat him like the running backs he had like the last 5-6 years of his career in Seattle, where he's splitting time, splitting workload, and one guy is not taking the full work. You're going to probably see Mostert, and probably Sincere's probably going to work in too.
I
like Sincere.
Where you at, Chris? I'm betting you right now, Chris. Wait, hold on. Let me tell him.
Turf, you should just show Spence the picture. Turf had a whole half hour on this.
Oh, my God.
When you were on the road about Sincere McCormick next to Ashton Genty, and he was telling everybody, just take a look at this actual picture.
Sincere showed. He showed he belongs last year.
So what I did say is, because Pete Carroll, you know this too, Spence. Pete Carroll loves big corners. Jacorian Bennett has no chance. He's 5'10". He has no chance. And I think he's going to be lucky to play slot. I don't know how much time he's going to get at corner 1 and 2. And what I'm betting one of my brothers in TRS is that comparable time that Jacorian Bennett gets will be the same that my guy Sincere McCormick gets, because Mostert doesn't stay healthy. It's Genty's first year. I don't see how he's not going to get some touches.
Yeah, I don't think somebody's going to get that receiving back role too. It's not going to be Mostert, and it definitely is not going to be Genty, because you can't have the kid on the field in passing situations unless he's getting the ball. Right? So it's going to get to the point where if Genty's on the field, you know that they're running.
Exactly. That's what and it's going to be easy to defend. Bro, I'm telling you, man, I really think, I don't think people are thinking this stuff through. They're just not.
Yeah. I'm really interested to see what your wide receiver room looks like.
It's terrible to me right now. It's terrible to me right now.
I'll tell you what, like the thing that's surprising me in just OTAs is it's looking like an undrafted free agent is going to knock out a second and a fourth round pick off the roster.
Dude.
If I was a betting man right now, I would tell you Efton Chisholm's going to be on the 53.
Hey.
And Jalen Polk and Javon Baker will not.
Oh.
Man, Jalen Polk, what happened, bro? Ouch.
He was trash. It was a terrible pick, man. It was an awful pick. I cannot stand Elliott Wolf. He's the worst GM. He's absolute trash.
Were you happy with his picks this year, though?
He didn't make any picks. He made nothing.
Okay.
The first thing Mike Vrabel did when the Patriots hired him was he went and got his guy from New York.
Okay.
Right. And I can see how the conversation with Wolf went the first day with Vrabel. He's like, we're going to take it from here. You go sit over there and we'll tell you who to pick and you can run it up. So you don't look like you're not even involved.
Right.
We'll keep you in the loop when we make the pick, but you go over there.
Right.
It's like I cannot stand him, and the fact that he's still there is killing me. I think he might not make it through preseason, but we'll see.
Well, Robert Kraft likes him though, right?
He's the snitch. He's the reason Bill Belichick's not there anymore. He's the snitch. He would take everything and run it upstairs to the Crafts and tell them.
Okay. Well, maybe that's why. That's his use, dude. He's a
little snitch.
Everybody gotta have somebody on HR.
Yeah, but the problem, exactly. The problem is now Vrabel knows exactly what he is.
Right.
So he's gonna get nothing out of him.
Right.
That's funny. That is funny.
Yeah, like you guys look much more functional in that respect than us. Like your front office looks like it's actually functional.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
It ain't saying much, bro. It ain't saying much. Trust me, we both in the same boat with that one.
Yeah, we were coming from a pretty. It's like our ceiling was not very high
at all.
Yeah,
not even a little bit.
we're Spence. We're a lot in the we'll see category right now, right?
Oh, yeah.
Was Spy Tech a genius? Yeah. We'll see, right?
We'll see.
Is Dante Thornton, because they're talking about maybe Dante Thornton might be starting. Man, wow! Like
Jax, right?
Right. That would be impressive that we stole a guy in the 5th round to be the starting X. That would be crazy. But
it's not unprecedented. It happens every year.
Bingo. Bingo.
But I mean, it's all about his hands, not so much his speed. But if his hands
Right.
are really that good, then heck, man, we might have stole one. But yeah, like you were saying about the wide receiver room, everybody likes Jack Besh because he blocks well, and Turf was saying that they might be putting Jacoby in the slot, which would be interesting because Jacoby can play any division.
He can play anywhere.
Yeah, he can.
Yeah.
Turf hates him, but he can play anywhere.
I like Jacoby. I don't know why Turf doesn't like Jacoby Myers.
It's not true. I just don't think he's the top number
him.
2. He's
Turf.
If he could pack a bag, take him to the airport, and send him off, he'd do it personally.
Spence,
Y'all have
you
these
guys would
fools
love
ready
to
to
have
kill
Jacoby
me.
Myers back, wouldn't you? You would love to.
That's what I tell him every time. It's like, I hope that plane's going to New England.
Yeah. Even Robert Kraft said that was a mistake.
Yes, he did.
Yes.
Out loud. He
Yeah, I
should.
didn't think Belichick even said that was a mistake under his breath. He's like, oh, shouldn't have done that.
Yeah. Turf, be careful what you wish for, man. He's in the contract year right now.
I know. He might ball out. It would be nice.
Be careful what you wish for, bro, man. Jacoby.
You need him to ball out.
Yeah.
We do.
You need him to ball out.
Yeah, and he's a big team
time.
player. And I'll tell you personally why I like him, Spence, from my ear to the ground here in Vegas. From what I've heard, Jacoby Myers is the best boxer out of all of the Raiders that were trained. They were saying
that's the reason.
Jacoby was the one that was getting at it the best. And he was the one that was actually learning the craft really well. Like, no disrespect to Max Crosby or anything.
Right.
But,
Right.
It's a different sport, man.
It is.
It's a very different sport. So, but Jacoby seems to be like an all-around athlete. He can play basketball, he can box, seems like he can do a whole bunch of stuff. So I don't know why Turf don't like a all utility guy.
I do. I told you guys what it is. At the time I was analyzing the offense, he was the only upgradable piece. Seriously. You had JJ.
Upgradable to who?
That's my point. Check it out. You had JJ at running back. Where are you going to upgrade? You had Devontae Adams at wide receiver 1. Where are you going to upgrade?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I don't think we had Bowers then, but we still had freaking 2 Mackey Award winners and Bryant.
True.
Where you going to get better at? At the number 2 wide receiver spot, what do you have? Jacoby. What is available out there that can be better than him at a number 2? And at that point, the first name that came to mind for me was the kid from San Francisco, Brandon Ayuk. He just came off a 1,200-yard season while Jacoby barely cracked 1,000. And again, what, you going to upgrade? Who are you upgrading Devontae Adams for? Nobody.
But Brandon Ayuk is a 1.
Exactly. He plays like a 1, but he was at that time still labeled and considered the 2. I want to say they were still saying Debo was 1 or somebody else. But that was my point. That's my point. Who are the legitimate top tier 1, number 2 wideout receivers is Jacoby Myers anywhere close to them? No. So that's what my point was. If there's a position on the offense to upgrade as far as skilled, that would have been it. I would have even went for Trey Tucker. But Tucker, in my opinion,
Tucker's your upgradable guy.
he is. I agree, but it's a slot. It's like I was looking at your main positions: tight end, wide receiver 1, 2, running back.
I look at it like this: like Jacoby's making what, like $15 million?
See, that's what
I want to say something like that.
Back to the money,
He's making 15 because that's what it's about. It's about the money, man.
right?
It's about funny. Trey Tucker is a first-round pick, right?
No, he's third round pick.
No, Trey is third. Trey Tucker is third.
Was the other one the first-round pick? One of your wide receivers was the first, right?
No.
So Jack Besh was the second round.
Second round.
Jack
number
Besh
50.
No, who's Trey Tucker's clone? You guys had another one that looked just like
DJ.
Dante Thornton is a fifth round pick.
No. He's talking to clone. That's Dante Thornton is 6'5". He's talking about DJ Turner. He's talking about DJ
Turner.
Oh, he's talking about Turner. Oh, my bad.
Turner the burner. Yep, DJ Turner. Yeah, and he's gone now.
He wasn't. Yeah, he's gone. He wasn't a first round though, right?
No.
DJ? No. Okay. No. So the only first you had was the guy that was Henry Ruggs.
Right.
Henry Ruggs was our first round pick.
That's who murdered us. A pun. Yeah.
Literally.
Exactly. Yeah. Sorry to the
That was a
family.
rough one, man.
It was. Bro, that's still.
It's probably bad memories for a lot of Raiders
It
fans.
set us back, bro. It set us back, and we still haven't recovered. It's just facts.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, and again, man, I can't speak to him personally. I know Josh Jacobs swears by the kid, so I don't know.
Right.
All I know is, as an athlete, do athletes make mistakes?
Right.
You know, we've seen Ray Rice beating up a girl in an elevator. You know, like at one point, did Ray Lewis actually commit murder? Right. You know what I mean? Like
it's ugly. It's ugly,
probably. Yeah, and again, if you're talking about the Raiders, we still have Turf. We still have the legendary defensive end who's in jail right now for triple homicide. So again, like what Henry Ruggs did is it's going to be a conversation that'll come up because there have been talks that if he gets the parole, he's gonna try to ask Roger Goodell if he could please get a chance. And
of course.
If his talent is still there. So I
over.
don't know. Did he make a childish mistake?
Yes.
Maybe not. I don't know. I didn't study the case. All I know is that whole thing was tragic because a lot of young lives were lost that did not.
At least he got his money before he had to go to jail.
Right.
But what about the Texas receiver who totally tanked his whole career before the draft?
Bond.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. He was one of the best wide receivers.
Yep.
He should have been a first rounder.
Oh, he should have easily been a first rounder. But
did he even get drafted?
No, he didn't get drafted.
Didn't get drafted.
Yeah, he's going straight to jail. Do not pass go. That's what that means.
Man.
Yeah.
It's exactly what that means.
Dumb.
Yep.
Dumb is an understatement.
And then again, even last year, Spence, Rashee Rice, what was that all about, right?
Another one.
Multiple warnings on. So I don't know, man. I don't know.
The kid who died. What about the kid who died?
Yeah, from LSU.
He did the same thing like last year. He was gonna go to trial. He was probably gonna get convicted, so he killed himself.
Yes. Terrible.
Man.
Terrible.
Like I don't know if it's one of these things where the players union have to do. I don't know, man. I don't know, Turf. Like I don't know at that level of a business, do they have like a mental health type of?
Oh, they have all of that. It's just nobody uses it, right? Let's just be honest. Let's be real. Nobody does what they're supposed to in those circumstances, in those situations. Unfortunately, right? It's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
It's a business, and they don't treat these people like humans. They treat them
correct,
like assets.
Correct, like cattle, straight up like cattle. Right. So, well, guys, we still have 80 people on X.
Awesome.
I don't know how many on YouTube.
That's awesome. That's because Spence came back.
Again, TikTok, all that good stuff. Everything is popping, but as in everything, all good things must come to an end. Now, this was a good show. Excellent show. We're going to start out with my main man, Angelo, the Raider Transplant. Tell the people where they can find you at, my guy.
So, guys, if you can follow me on Reyes Boxing on Instagram, Me and Turf, we haven't built my channel yet, but Reyes Boxing on Instagram.
It's coming.
I'd like for you guys to also please follow the Knockout Canvas. Follow it on Instagram. I think we have a Twitter.
Correct.
We're going to be doing episode 3. Today was kind of like a episode 2 mishmash. It was like a mashup with Spence. But episode 3 should be coming next week, Wednesday, and me and Turf will be talking to everyone about all the latest news on boxing and MMA. And Turf, you're going to work on our TikTok too, right?
Absolutely. I'm going to get it all cracking. Get it all going.
TikTok.
So yeah, and Turf, as I always say jokingly, if you ever really want to know what I used to do, then there's this wonderful thing called Google. Just Google my name, as Shaq would say.
There it is. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Spence, tell the people where they can find you, what you got going on.
I'm at Titletown Sports Talk on YouTube and Twitch. I'm at the Titletown Sports Talk on Instagram and on X. I'm just Spencer Young, TST.
Bingo. Clearly he was using that for something for work. TST. Said might as well just keep it, right? No, and guys, you already know, man. What's today? Thursday. Man, Fridays are tough. I got another track meet. Oh, and by the way, tidbit, little trivia for you. We asked about those running backs that had a career of 5 yards or better. Well, last week I was talking to the fellas, the Raider Syndicate, and it just so happens that Jamal Charles has a track team in AAU.
Really?
And out of all those running backs, the little handful, the 3 people that have had a career with 5 yards or better, guess who else is one of them? Jamal Charles just so happens to be one of the fastest dudes to ever play the game. And now he's giving back to the AAU squad. It was such a good thing to see. But yeah, I had to put that out there. Spence and I are very lucky going to sporting events out here. I can assure you, we see people all the time. We have no clue. We just know they're specimens. They don't look like real humans, but they're superhuman, right? And then you follow down the road after the fact. Oh yeah, that's some ex Hall of Famer that has a gold jacket. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So I'll be dealing with a lot of that. You already know my favorite show as far as what I produce, the Ultimate Raider Fan 32's Tuesdays, man. We got the Knockout Canvas. We're going to make that Wednesdays for sure. Guaranteed Saturdays for fight parties and watching.
Yeah.
All that.
Whenever Turf is free, we're going to do a
watch. Exactly.
Like this Saturday, I think, Turf, you're doing the track thing again, right?
Yeah, but I may be back in time. It just depends.
Yeah, if Turf is back in time, guys, then both me and Turf will be on watching the DAZN, DAZN. If you subscribe to the DAZN,
yes,
and that fight starts. The main card for the New York fight starts at 5. So if Turf is back, we should be able to make it back to do it. And Spence, if you're going to watch it with us, man, join the watch party because you might learn a thing or two.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I would love to, but I'm actually going to Coldplay Saturday night. So.
Oh, you lucky
That's
son
awesome.
of a gun. Oh, yeah.
They were
like
just here.
Coldplay.
They were just here, Spence, in Vegas. So they're playing over there now.
That's a dope band.
They're in El Paso. They're not even going to Austin.
Oh wow!
Oh, you're driving to El Paso. Wow.
He's there.
That's what
now.
I was doing today.
That's where he's at. That's where he's going. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yo,
sorry, he wasn't going through Brokeback Mountain. He was just going to see Coldplay.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Yeah, Coldplay, man. That's an amazing concert.
Yeah. Oh, big.
It looks pretty intense.
Yeah, that's gonna be a show.
Hey, can I ask then, Spence? What were the ticket? How much did the ticket set you back for that one, Coldplay?
I did not buy them on the secondary market. I'm on the floor. I bought them when they went on sale.
Oh,
those when they went on
nice. You got them at cost.
I had them at cost. They were like, I want to say like $200 a piece, something like that.
Wow, that's awesome.
That's a steal.
Now, that's the way to do it.
That's a steal. That's a steal. That's a steal.
The way to do it. Wow.
Yeah, I heard they're going for over 1,000.
Oh, easy.
Absolutely.
Easy. Where you're sitting, yes.
Oh.
You got your tickets at cost. Seriously, you got to make calls.
Man,
The markup on that, you can
Spence,
turn around and
ever,
make a grand off of them right now.
Yeah,
Right.
I don't know if you ever thought about this, Spence, but where you instead of just buying whatever you needed, like buy 2 extra.
I know.
And then when it gets to the last second,
Sell them.
Yeah, you just sell them.
I didn't even think about
you
that.
could always invite a friend by that point if you wanted to.
Yeah, I didn't.
A friend of mine started doing that when we were in our 20s, and he does it for like all Boston sporting events now. He's got like a whole bunch of like seats for Fenway Park and Patriot games and.
Sweet.
Oh, Spence, did you hear about that? There was a boxing match at Fenway Park last week.
They do all sorts of stuff in Fenway Park. It's pretty insane. I would love to go see something like that at Fenway.
Yeah, that would be badass.
Yeah, that was crazy. I was like, oh shit, at Fenway Park. That's awesome.
Yeah, and you get to go on the field. Like they put it in the middle of the field. Yeah,
that's really cool. If there was ever a field turf that I would want to see, it's that one because it's so historic. It's been around for so long, and you know the Green Monster, and it's just such a that's more like I look at Fenway like a museum. I don't even really think of it like a ballpark. Yeah. I think of it like a museum.
Right.
Yeah, it really is. It's old. It's old.
All right, gentlemen, we got to get out of here because I'm tired. I got to get up in the morning. This is a great episode. As always, don't forget, please like and subscribe. Go check all the channels out. We're going to get Angelo's going up here real soon for the Knockout Canvas. And until next time, we are out, ladies and gentlemen. Peace. Oh, wait. That's right. I forgot. This is Dead in Water. Let me get this right. We know how to get out of here. We got to teach.
Got too many shows.
Yeah, I got too many shows. Angelo, you are officially talking. Yes, some Texans. So we get out of here by the one and only Hooker.
Decomposing your big